Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyhomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, hit it.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
You know who it is.
Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Yeah. On 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Snow day? I think not. This is what people do when they persevere.
What, us?
Yeah. We're at work.
We are
Anybody
at work.
else? Any of these other doofuses at Odyssey St. Louis at work?
No.
Roaming the halls? It's
We're
basically you and me in the newsroom and Matt.
I would say at work is playing fast and loose with the term. I would say we're here. We're here.
Hey.
We showed up to
we
where...
have to be here.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's work. 314-436. But we love being here. My gosh. 314-436-7900. Join the show today. Text the show with that number. You can call it. You can leave us voice messages directly from the Odyssey app for free. Give us a piece of your mind for free. The Odyssey app is right there on your Google Play Store, Apple App Store, whatever it is that you use. And you can watch the show, too. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Most of the St. Louis area getting about 9 inches of snow or more. We've seen upwards of 13.5 inches in the St. Louis area.
And U.S. Border Patrol agents on Saturday shot and killed a 37-year-old man, Alex Preddy, in Minnesota.
And the Super Bowl matchup is set. You're not going to like this, but the Rams, they're out. Haha. They're out. It is the Seahawks. They are in. The Seahawks and the Patriots are in the Super Bowl. And it's a good thing I watched the games last night because I'm looking at the rundown. It says the Rams and Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. They are not. That is impossible.
I was looking at it too, and I just doubted everything. The
Seahawks beat the Rams last night.
All you have to do is type something out and print it out on a piece of paper.
And it looks official.
And I will doubt everything I've ever known or thought.
Uh-huh. Well, just so you know, the Rams did, in fact, lose the game last night in the NFC Championship. The New England Patriots have moved on. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
But,
we want to hear from you big time today because we know you're probably not at work. Although we have a lot of essential workers listening to our show. We really do.
Yeah, a lot of drivers, people who are out there on the road, and be very careful because it's still, as you heard Debbie mention, it's what, -1, 0, 1, somewhere in that range. It's very, very cold. The ice is on the roads. It was treacherous today for some of us and still is, depending on where you're at. So be careful if you do have to be on the road today. And we're glad we can keep you company.
314-436-7900. A lot to talk about. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how you survived Snowmageddon. We're kind of still in the middle of it. I am speaking from a place of someone who has a warm home and all of that, and I get that. So that being said, man, I love winter. Thriving this weekend. I loved it. Don't you love it? Isn't it bright and beautiful and the snow is fresh and you go outside and you feel alive? You taught me that phrase.
That's right.
You said when you go outside and the wind hits your face,
there you go.
You feel alive. It makes you feel alive.
See, this is what winter is supposed to be like.
Yes.
It's supposed to be like this. Maybe not quite this much snow, but it's supposed to be more like this than 80 degrees on Christmas Day. This is how it's supposed to be.
And I had to shovel a driveway. It was a long driveway. But because the snow was so light and fluffy, it was not that bad. Shoveling wet, heavy snow is 100 times worse. I don't think I would have been able to do it if it had been wet, heavy snow.
Yeah, you're right. The Saturday snow that came in was very powdery and easy to remove. So it will start to change because the snow is going to melt a little bit and then refreeze in some areas, not everywhere. So we are all going to have to look out for ice for the next several days. Amy and I think both are on the same page on this one, but and I've been saying this for a long time about Missouri, y'all can't drive. You're all really bad at driving.
I'm going to throw Illinois in there, too.
No. Illinois, we take driver's education. We actually learn how to drive the car before we get the license.
9:08, and we're in this verbal confrontation. I can't take
It's just,
it.
But it's just true.
I had such a nice weekend.
We had simulators in our high school. We had to go through classes. We learn how to drive, and then you get a driver's license. Here, it's like, what's your name? Can you breathe? Here's your license in Missouri. Are
It's a
you
beautiful
16?
thing.
Here you go.
Have you seen the classes in Japan where they have all these preschoolers and they have a dummy crossing the road and a car just hits the dummy?
Plows
at
it. It's how they're teaching them. Yes.
It's traumatizing.
I'm just going to say Missouri drivers need to start going through some really intensive training at a very young age because they don't know what they're doing. And
You know what it is, though? It's not just that. It is not just incompetence. That's not what this is. Because if you're nervous about driving, don't go out driving in this snow if you're nervous. If you've got a vehicle, like, I don't want to brag, but the Subaru is the greatest car ever made. And yes, I could drive around in the Subaru. I'm not worried about me getting stuck. What makes me mad are the arrogant drivers who have complete and utter disregard for human life and other people and other people's cars that are bobbing and weaving and tailgating when Highway 40 is one lane. It's just two tracks, and they're going in the snow and out of the snow, and they're mad that people are driving slowly because they're in a giant double-wide red Dodge Ram truck. Yes, I'm talking to you, that guy who did that at Grand. And he was just bobbing and weaving. I hate to break it to you, but if you hit a patch of ice, your stupid truck isn't going to help you. Ice doesn't help you in truck. Trucks don't help you on ice.
Trucks are less likely to spin out, but they still can. We've seen semis spin out, so we've seen them jackknife on the highways in really bad weather environments. But there is this, you're right, I think it's arrogance.
It's arrogance.
There's this arrogance.
And disregard for other people.
Yes, and there's this, it's almost like impatience with everybody else. Like, hey, dude, so congratulations, your drywall business is going great. We're very happy for you that you need a pickup truck and that you have one. The rest of us don't, and most of us don't need pickup trucks. So we're not going to drive them, which means we're not going to drive like complete a-holes when it's snowy. You have to pay attention to everybody around. It's not just about you. Like, I have a pickup truck. I could drive however. No, you have to be safe. You have to be safe because people around you are struggling to stay on the roads because this is treacherous for 90% of people who are out there.
Yes, but I will say this. Today it was that pickup truck driving like that, but it was also...
I saw like 3 or 4 who were doing that on Kings Highway, on 64. They were all over the place.
There was also a stupid little Tesla car, like the weird shape, the one that's shaped like a toe. Like the original Tesla that's shaped like a toe.
Model,
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All I know is that person was a young woman who was just driving all over the place in that Tesla. And I've seen it in, cars that have to be front wheel drive that are driving insane. So like I said, if you are in an SUV, a giant SUV or a truck or 4-wheel drive, don't drive like an idiot. Again, Subaru drivers are the best because there are a lot of Subaru drivers out there and they are cautious but not nervous drivers. Saturday night, I will say I felt like I was on the same team with all the trucks because it was me, a couple of Subarus, and a ton of pickup trucks, and we were all so conscientious and kind towards one another.
Well, that's good. That's what that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to strive for that. And it's also true of semi-drivers because I have been on the interstate a lot in my life when it is snowing. A lot. Okay? And some of these truck drivers, when the rest of us are slowly moving along.
As a community.
Yes, because it's tough to see or whatever. Some of these semis are just...
I can't believe you said that.
Kicking up all of the snow so you can't see.
So I can't...
Slow down, guys.
It's so funny. I actually completely forgot. How did I forget? It was not that long ago. But this morning, there was the Tesla. There was the Dodge Ram truck, the red one, that were being idiots. An 18-wheeler tanker. You know where the whole thing's a tanker?
Yeah.
Truck? An 18-wheeler tank, whatever you call it.
I like to assume they're all full of milk.
I was presumably dairy. Tailgating people on Highway 40. You're in a 18-wheeler, and maybe you get paid by the mile. And here's the thing, I love truckers.
Me too.
They keep the country
Me too.
going. And I love you guys. Say this guy's name was Bob. I need the truckers to go, Bob, are you in that tanker truck in Highway 40? Stop being a... Like that. They need to do that because maybe he gets paid by the mile, so he was mad that the Subaru in front of him was going slow. But you can't tailgate.
This is the bottom line message here for everybody who's driving. I don't care what kind of vehicle. If you're in a tank, you don't get to drive fast just because your car handles it well, because everybody is in this together. It's a community, that highway. It's not about you.
Let's be friends.
Wait till all of it melts. Then you can drive like a butthole, okay? Done.
Real quick, 11 minutes into the show, says this texter, and I already feel insulted. I drive a blue Ram truck.
Slow down.
Ricky in South City.
Ricky,
you don't know
slow
that he's
down.
driving bad. All the trucks on Saturday night were so nice.
Good.
They were my favorite
Then
truck drivers.
What's the problem this morning? They see a few plows out there, so they think...
It was the red guy. The red truck guy.
I saw multiple on my way to work today.
A deadly winter storm is winding down across a huge portion of the country, but many are still in a deep chill. That includes this woman in New York City.
It sucks. It's cold. I'm still forced to go to work. Why?
What a great question. What a fantastic question. Why? Why are we here? That's what we should all be asking today. Why are we here?
Why?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Ranj, a 314 is texting in.
Oh, no.
With
Here we
a
go.
really good point.
All right.
Unfortunately, says the texter, those idiot drivers don't listen to the Chris and Amy show. That's probably right. That's probably why they're driving like that.
Yeah. Well, now that, okay, would you pass it along to them then, please?
Those idiots have some acquaintances. If you are friends or an acquaintance with those idiot drivers, send them a text. And if you're one of the truckers that we love, because I love truckers, and truckers listen to our show, and that's why we never did this, but we wanted to have our Salute to Truckers Week. We're going to have a Salute to Truckers Week at some point. Ranj wants to use a shower at a truck stop.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for... Yes, I do. I would like to use a truck stop.
So anyway,
shower
we're going to do that, but
Somebody give me your membership so I don't have to pay $15.
We need a trucker to, one, text in their opinion on bad drivers, and two, text that guy in the tanker trucker. What is that called? A tanker truck? I don't know.
Yeah.
That was driving on 40 East that was tailgating people. He could have had a tank full of milk.
Yeah.
And that, do you know how much that weighs?
And those cows, when they find out that the thing...
Can you imagine
wrecked,
getting
and then all of
squeezed
that-
like that and then all your milk goes to waste?
And they go, I did all of that for nothing.
Nothing.
Just for it to end up on the highway. Slow it down out there.
Unbelievable.
Feel free to text in today, 314-436-7900. It is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming App University that can help enhance your everyday life. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles your most trusted and #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2026. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis Service Valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2025. See dealer for details.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
It's about time pros had one partner for the whole job. Why juggle 10 different suppliers when one can do it all? At the Home Depot, you'll save with pricing built for pros. You'll stay on track with job site deliveries, scheduled, next day, or same day. And you'll get every size, every finish, every job lot quantity you need. One partner for the entire job. That's how pros get more done. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ETHOS.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is John Pertzborn with Ben and Gentry for HeatUpSt.Louis.org.
We're the Golden Boys!
For the 26th Rise and Shine benefit.
It's Friday, February 13th.
Your lucky day to volunteer.
Or buy a sausage or egg biscuit for $1.
At participating area Hardee's.
It's HeatUpStLouis.org to also pre-order. That's HeatUpStLouis.org.
Put the biscuits down, Ben.
Oy!
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hi, this is Dan McLaughlin. Congratulations to KMOX, 100 years strong as the voice of St. Louis.
Text into the show at 314-436-7900. Unless you are currently driving a truck, as a listener has pointed out. Yeah, you're correct. We do not want truck driver. If you're stopped at the truck stop right now to get your hot shower, then you can go ahead and text into the show. And we do have somebody who says that they have a membership to Love's. The showers are hot.
I love Love's.
I like Love's.
It's my go-to. It's always clean. It's always well lit. If you're driving, especially by yourself at night, go to Love's.
Last time I stopped at a Love's on the way home.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh, it was right before Christmas time. They had a bunch of roadside safety bright yellow clothing. You know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so they had a safety yellow Bears hat, so I bought it.
Nice.
It is bright.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. It's good for being seen at night and for not getting shot in the woods if you're walking during hunting season.
That's right.
No. Shout out to Love's, my go-to. Love Love's.
And here's a message that says, whatever happened to the school closure reports on KMOX? I missed the 20-minute litany of school closings. Well, have I got something for you. Let's start with the A's, Amy.
Okay.
These schools are all closed today. The Above and Beyond Learning Center, Academy of St. Louis Chesterfield, Adventures in Learning DeSoto, Affinia Healthcare.
Home run totals 35, 24, 32, 36, 40, 32, 40, 38, 36, 33.
Okay, we're not going to just be counting on the air. We're not going through all of this. Never mind. That was Mike Francesa with the Fan in New York. That was his thing. He used to just, would count on the air. Like he would count the bowl games.
Yeah.
And he would go all the way up to like 60. We're not going to go through the school closings, but let me tell you, do you remember that, Amy?
What?
Waking up. Well, actually, you wouldn't.
No,
you didn't have that.
School.
It was. I'm going to tell you how much fun it actually was to wake up on days when it was supposed to snow or was snowing and just listening to the radio to see if your school district got mentioned for being canceled for the day.
Well,
that was the best.
We would have the news on or TV, right? You come down in the morning, and obviously we still did school because you could fall down the stairs and school would be in session. But for some reason, and this is again being in St. Louis, I loved to see how many schools started with Saint. Like it never ended.
Oh.
Once they got to the STs on the news, St. Francis Daycare.
Oh my God, there are so many
St. Peter
saints.
Early Center.
There are
St.
so
Alphonsus, St. Ambrose, St. Anne, St. Anthony, St. Charles, St. Clair.
Who is St. Cletus?
Oh, Cletus is a great one. I think that's De Pere.
St. Elizabeth, St. Francis, St. Gabriel. I mean, there are
St.
a
Henry.
million.
Never heard of St. Henry. St. John, St. Joseph.
St. Henry?
Yeah.
There's a St. Henry?
Didn't think so because of, history.
Is there a St. Hank?
He was St. Hank to his close friends.
Let's talk to Kurt, who's in St. Louis and joining us right now. Kurt is a truck driver, I believe. How you doing, Kurt?
Hey, it'd just be easier to say which schools are open.
That's right.
That's right.
You were exactly right.
Kurt, you're right. You nailed it, Kurt.
No, but anyway, Love's ain't a bad place compared to Pilot and Flying J and all those. The only problem is you're going to pay. Those truck stops are a little bit pricey, but you're only going there for the fuel. But even so, it'll be a little pricey. But like you said, for safety reasons,
yeah,
it's the way. It's the way to go.
Wait, are you talking about Love's? You said a little pricey.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know what? And
all the truck stops, Pilot, you're not a driver, but
yeah.
Pilot and Flying J and all those.
I was just saying I drive to Colorado a lot, and especially if I'm driving solo, I will say as a solo female traveler, I always like Love's, like very well lit. It always feels safe.
Kurt, when you're talking about, when you say safety reasons, are you talking about the showers?
Hey, I don't go in the shower,
You
so
don't?
I couldn't tell you on that.
Okay. Well, that's all I was looking for. And thank you, Kurt. Be safe out there. Don't drive 100 when it's snowing like this.
Yeah.
But I just want to take a shower in one of those. I just want to get ready in a truck stop one day. But you do have to pay for it. It's like $15
if you don't get gas.
If you don't get gas
In a truck.
Right.
I don't think
you
your
have to buy
car counts.
diesel.
Yeah. Ask them if you get a discount if they fill up your little sedan. 816 texts in and says, I always tell my wife when I am driving down the highway, I wish law enforcement would provide a number for me to text when I see someone texting and driving.
Can you report somebody like that? Well, I don't think they follow up on it.
No, they not here. They've got bigger things.
And if you remember,
but also that was kind of funny.
Driving and texting is no longer a secondary offense. They can pull you over for it. It used to be that they could give you a ticket if you were driving and texting if they had pulled you over for something else first, right? Like they pulled you over for speeding, and then they could ticket you for texting and driving.
Okay.
But now they could just pull you over for that.
I thought it was still secondary. In Illinois, it's first dairy.
Oh, yeah, because I had it actually being on the phone is completely. I was on the phone 15 years ago, 15 or maybe longer, and I got pulled over immediately.
Ronj, quick note. Mary Lynn texts in, wants you to know there is a St. Cletus in St. Charles as well.
Yes, I did see the St. Cletus. Okay. Anyway.
Probably closed, I guess.
And by the way, at 9:27, it is way too late to be seeing if your school is closed.
They have late starts sometimes.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
We never had a late start.
Happens.
That's Amy Marks Kors. I'm Chris Ranji. As you probably well know, a pretty awful event happened over the weekend. Another shooting of a citizen in Minnesota. CBS congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns will join the show, give us an update on what is going to happen next following that shooting. She joins us when we come back on KMOX.
Football season fades into memory. Winter tightens its grip. And then, from somewhere beyond the gray, a sound breaks through. Pitchers and catchers report. Baseball takes back center stage. Hope returns, guiding you through it all. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz, and suddenly your rush hour sucks a little less. Rush Hour Sports, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Currently, it is 3 degrees, real -8. Partly to mostly sunny, bitterly cold today, a high of 16. Tonight, clear, very cold, a low of 8.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Renner Garage Door has you covered. Renner's been turning garage doors from zero to hero since 1966. RennerDoorSTL.com.
RENNER. It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey. 2026 is here. A new year means new goals, fresh starts, and for many homeowners, it might be time for that big move. If you've been thinking about selling, this is the year to make it happen. I'm here with Gloria Liu from Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria, what should home sellers know as we kick off the new year?
Thanks for having me. The start of a new year is always an exciting time, but it also means more sellers are jumping into the market. That adds competition, so timing and strategy matter. The good news is, my team has qualified buyers already looking for homes right now. Whether you need to sell quickly or maximize value, we'll create a plan that works for you. Plus, I guarantee to sell your home at your price and time frame, or I will buy it myself.
Start your new year strong with Gloria Liu and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Make 2026 the year you move forward with confidence. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your funding needs are, seek no more. Our AI lending marketplace has you covered. If you've been in business at least 1 year with annual revenue of at least $250,000, you could get the funding your business needs in as little as 24 hours. There's no obligation, so apply today at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Over the weekend, another shooting involving, this time it was the Border Patrol officers of a 37-year-old ICU nurse. Alex Preddy is his name, who was a bystander, was filming operations as Border Patrol was making an arrest or doing something. And this person was tackled and eventually shot and killed. To talk about what's happening now on the ground in Minneapolis, what's to come next, what the response has been and everything, CBS congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns is with us on KMOX. We appreciate your time, Caitlin. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, as far as we know, what is happening on the ground in Minnesota right now with authorities? As far as we know, over the weekend, were not really allowed to investigate for themselves. So what is the latest there?
That's right. And what news we have this morning, at least from Washington, is that the administration is seemingly acknowledging that things have gotten out of hand, to say the very least. The president announced today that he is sending his border czar, Tom Homan, into Minneapolis, Minnesota, to essentially take over the operations there. This is after the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has been saying things that have been completely contradicted by all available video evidence and evidence produced by eyewitnesses on the scene, including the claim that has not been founded that the victim was brandishing a weapon. And so this is significant, at least to me, because this is an administration that essentially does not acknowledge mistakes or the crossings of lines, and sending in Homan seems to be, at least at this point, an acknowledgement that something needs to change there. The other, big issue, at least from the Washington perspective, is that government funding runs out at the end of this week, which is the end of this month, and Democrats have said that they will not support funding the Department of Homeland Security unless it includes reforms specifically to ICE, given the recent shooting in Minnesota and the one before that. And that's significant because this could, have wide-lasting implications for various sectors of government.
So as we look at this situation, and you can see the video pretty clearly of Alex Preddy trying to help a woman who was shoved to the ground, at which point he is swarmed by these agents and pinned down. And they said, well, he was armed. Bovino said, well, he wanted to do maximum damage or casualty to the law enforcement. Well, he was down. His hands weren't anywhere near his gun. We can see it clearly. It's contradicting the reality, the evidence, the video is contradicting what the administration is saying. And as you said, is this starting to truly break within the administration where even Kristi Noem has to back down?
It's very important what you just laid out, which is that there is ample video that directly contradicts the statements made from administration officials, especially the claim that the now victim was brandishing a weapon. They have not been able to produce any evidence to the contrary of what we've all seen in those videos and in eyewitness testimony. And what's significant, too, is that, and what separates this from previous instances that we've seen, is that you are starting to see Republicans who are very supportive of the administration start to say there needs to be an independent investigation into this, and starting to suggest that there is a broader issue here, and the credibility of immigration enforcement is at stake. And now that may seem kind of a simple acknowledgement of the facts, but it's significant because in previous instances, we've seen most Republicans come to the defense of the administration and echo what the administration is saying. We're starting to see some breaks here. And I think that's what separates this from these previous instances. And that signals that there is an acknowledgement, even among the president's most ardent supporters, that something has to change here, that this has gone too far, especially when there is so much video evidence out there, and that the administration has not been able to provide contradictory evidence at all, except for their claims, which have been essentially refuted by the video evidence.
CBS congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns is with us, and there was reporting yesterday that the Department of Homeland Security is telling the state of Minnesota they will leave, they will pull ICE, they will pull Border Patrol if the state turns over voter roll information to them, which doesn't seem, I'm not sure what they would want with that information, but what do we know about that?
Right. And that's an important point, too, because it's not yet clear what exactly they would want from that information. And it's unlikely that the state would give that over to the federal government. And it also kind of runs counter to conservative values, the idea of the state giving information like that. Voter registration and voting is conducted by the states. So there are a lot of questions that surround that line of that message and that letter from the administration there. So there are a lot of questions that remain there, and there are also a lot of questions about why the surge, the deployment surge of ICE was there in the first place. And, a lot of this goes back to, the reports of fraud in Minnesota. And a lot of that fraud has already been adjudicated by the courts. Many, many people involved in that fraud case are being prosecuted. So it does raise the question of why there was a call for a surge in immigration enforcement when this was already working its way through the courts. So there is likely to be a standoff in regards to the letter that you mentioned. It's unlikely that Minnesota state officials would give over that information, because it's also not clear why that information is needed in the first place.
Yeah, and you talked about the surge of ICE agents. The population of immigrants illegally in Minnesota is about 2.2%, which is half the national average. 3,000 federal officers are operating in and around a city of 430,000 people. You compare that to the few hundred sent to Chicago, a population of 2.7 million. It is so off balance here in Minnesota. It's intentionally so.
Exactly. And I think that's an important comparison to make, and gives you a sense of the scope of all of this and the politics that have been driving this in the first place. And again, we've seen many different kinds of administration officials go to Minnesota to focus on this fraud case. And all of that really points to the politics surrounding this and driving the decision. Because if you look at the basic numbers, the amount in the surge does not equate to the numbers present. So there are so many questions about why this surge was done in the first place, let alone questions about the behavior of ICE agents. And, I think there's a really important question to be asked, which is, you can support the enforcement of immigration laws, you can support law enforcement, but you can also raise questions about this particular shooting, critical questions about what was warranted. And there were also at least 10 shots heard in the video, and there has not been an answer for why that was needed as well, in addition to all of the other questions about the actions here. And so we will see a press conference from the White House today. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is going to be giving a press conference today around 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And a lot of these questions will be posed to the administration. And that will give us an indication of how they are seeing things, and whether their own timelines or their own statements have shifted. So I think that will be something important to watch here.
Caitlin Huey Burns, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you.
That is CBS congressional correspondent Caitlin Huey Burns with us on KMOX.
You know, Ron, we were talking about this over the weekend, and something that if we had more time, would have brought up with Caitlin. We can bring it up with Andrew Egger, White House correspondent. We talked about ICE and the intentional surge in Minnesota and so forth in the video. But another thing is coming out of this, and that is that the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California tweeted out, if you approach law enforcement with a gun, there is a high likelihood they will be legally justified in shooting you. Don't do it. We saw other multiple mentions of, well, he had a gun. The NRA issued a statement. This is what they said, quote, this sentiment from the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California is dangerous and wrong. Responsible public voices should be awaiting a full investigation, not making generalizations and demonizing law-abiding citizens. The NRA tweeted that. I think that's an important point, is that we have this administration that ran a lot on Second Amendment rights, and we know the passion that people feel about the Second Amendment and right to bear arms and to conceal or conceal carry or to carry, open carry, whatever you're being debated in the states. And this was a law-abiding citizen who was a law-abiding legal gun owner who was exercising his Second Amendment right just by carrying. He never grabbed the gun. He never unholstered it. Just by carrying.
They took it from him before they shot him.
They took it from him.
It's
and
very
that
clear
is
on
being
video.
used against him. And you have a United States attorney saying if you have a gun and you approach law enforcement, there's a good chance they can shoot you. Yes, the NRA is speaking out. And anybody who one reason why they may have voted for this administration is gun rights and concerned about gun rights. Look how quickly it turned. Where now you have a U.S. government administration saying, yeah, but if we see you with a gun, we can kill you.
Look, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of concealed carry, open carry. I don't think it makes us safer when there are more guns out there. I just don't. And I think the numbers pretty much prove that, considering we have more gun crimes in this country than any other country in the world has. And we have way more guns than any other country does. It's a completely separate argument from this, though. If you are going to be a proponent of that amendment, you have to be a proponent of that amendment for everybody. It can't just be for the people you agree with politically. It has to be everybody. And this person did have a gun. He was legal. He was well within his rights. And he's not the only person to show up to a protest with a weapon. We've seen many, many, many right-wingers show up to protests and counter-protests, not just carrying handguns stuffed in their back, holstered in their back. They're openly carrying semi-automatic rifles.
You mean like
and
the sainted
AR-15.
Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah, the Rittenhouse was a hero, who right-wingers called a hero. And, was he not invited to the White House? Am I making that up? I believe he was.
I think he was.
Right. So you can't call that guy a hero who actually killed 2 people and then say that Alex Preddy showed up to cause maximum damage or to be, as Stephen Miller called him, a would-be assassin. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. And in fact, nothing about him indicates he was showing up there to do any harm. The guy had a cell phone in his hand and he was recording. And officers, Border Patrol, came up to him, shoved a lady next to him, and he went to her to make sure she was okay. They tackled him to the ground, took his gun from him, and then killed him. There is no debate on what happened there. We can see it.
Mm-hmm. There's
and
so
there
many
are
angles. There's so many angles
of it. So there are a number of things about that incident that are just really sickening and heartbreaking, and I can't believe we are here. We are in such an awful place in this country. And Amy, I just don't know how or when it gets better. I feel like there's going to be a breaking point. Something is going to have to change. I just don't know what it is or how it's going to happen or how bad it's going to get before it happens.
Well, if federal agents going into cities and shooting and killing American citizens on a regular basis isn't the breaking point. I'm not sure what is. I hope this is the breaking point. I will say you're starting to see consensus from across the board, more conservative, right-leaning publications to, more left-leaning publications. I say that because Tom Bevan of Real Clear Politics said I've been doing this for 25 years and I've never seen, or I can count on one hand the number of times, this is what he's saying, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Washington Post, and the New York Post, which is very conservative, have all agreed, the editorial boards all agreed on this issue, that this was a horrific killing and this needs to stop, this intentional conflict and escalating of tensions and turning up.
It all seems very purposeful.
And it's very bad. Yeah. And I do think there's something to be said when you have consensus from editorial boards. Remember, editorial boards are the opinion givers at the newspapers, and they're saying, left, right, we have to stop this.
At 11 o'clock, we're going to talk to White House correspondent from the Bulwark, Andrew Egger, St. Louisan. He will give us his thoughts on what happened. We'll also take yours. 314-436-7900. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
It's 2026, and it's time to get your home zero-resified by calling our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $119, plus a free hallway, and take 15% off regularly priced services when you mention the KMOX special. ZeroResSTL.com.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, fan cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Breakfast burritos for the morning brainstorm. Easy Cater. Paninis for the lunch and learn. Easy Cater. Barbecue for the clients from Boston. Easy Cater. Brownie boxes and mini bundt cakes for Brenda's workiversary. Easy Cater. One simple platform to feed any size group with food they love from favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Easy Cater. All the food for your workplace, all in one place. Start an order at easycater.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Dreaming of summer with this crazy weather? Me too. And nothing says summer like the Muni, which means it's officially time to start planning your nights under the stars. Good news, Muni season tickets are on sale now. The 2026 season includes Hairspray, Shrek the Musical, South Pacific, Disney's Newsies, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Something Rotten. See all 7 shows starting at only $126. For tickets, visit muni.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosure Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text LEVEL to 323232. LEVEL to 323232. LEVEL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, Southwest Airlines officially says goodbye to open seating tomorrow, meaning today is the last day of open seating and tomorrow is assigned to seating. And you know what? I'm kind of bummed about it.
Yeah, it's
I
stupid.
liked the open seating.
Yeah, Southwest, the appeal of it was the open seating, the free bags, and now they're just doing
Because
I know the fares aren't going down.
The fares are going up because if you want open seating,
Yeah.
you can still get it. If you get basic, you don't get to choose your seat. But the problem is everybody who paid more gets to choose their seat, so you're stuck in the back of the plane. So you basically, it takes away the egalitarian nature of the open seating before. Now, everybody pays to pick their seat. And if you are the loser who got the basic fare, you're stuck in the middle seat in the very back. I feel sad about that.
Yeah, the middle seat's not the best. I don't mind the back of the plane, though.
See, I don't
I'm
mind.
all right with that.
I'll take middle seat over back of the plane.
Especially if I check the bag, because I know I got to wait for it.
Oh, I like middle seat,
So-
not back of the plane.
The Super Bowl is settled. We know who's going to be in it.
Do we?
Know it's the, well,
Some of us do.
the Seahawks and the Patriots. So it's a rematch of that one Super Bowl where Pete Carroll chose to not give the ball to Marshawn Lynch and run it in for a touchdown, and they got picked off at the goal line. Remember that? Anyway, The Athletic. Thank you to The Athletic for pointing this out.
Okay.
Amy, did you see the last 3 times a new pope was elected, the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl as the number 1 seed?
The last 3 times a new pope was elected.
The 2005 Pope Benedict.
Yep.
The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl after.
Okay.
2013 Pope Francis. The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl after. 2025 Pope Leo. The Seahawks went to the Super Bowl after.
Interesting.
How about that?
Wonder why. It's got to be related.
It
has
it's not,
to be.
It cannot be a coincidence.
How could it not be related at
it would
this
be
point?
impossible for that to be a coincidence.
Last thing, tax season officially opens today. Congratulations, everyone.
And speaking of tax season, our buddy Matt Pajeski is going to commit fraud.
Yes.
Not tax fraud.
Not tax fraud. Better kind
Worse.
of fraud. Fun fraud.
Can't wait to find out what this is. It's the Chris and Amy Show. Hour 2 of 3 is next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 369369. AREA to 369369. AREA to 369369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new era of UFC on Paramount Plus continues. Live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanovski.
He is an animal.
Defends his belt at home in an explosive rematch against Diego Lopez.
You gotta be kidding me!
And the always dangerous Dan Hooker. Yes. Throws down with powerhouse Benoit Saint-Denis in a high-action lightweight showdown.
There's never been anything like this. Let's go.
UFC 325, Saturday, January 31st, only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, St. Louis City SC fans, mark your calendars now. The Boys in Red return to Energizer Park to kick off Season 4 Saturday, February 21st. And you could be there for the dawn of a new golden era of St. Louis soccer. Go to stlcitysc.com/tickets and reserve your seat now for the MLS home opener versus Charlotte FC. Limited quantities remain. See you soon, St. Louis.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. There's never a good time for your heating system to stop working. If yours does, no matter what time or day, Air Comfort Service offers 24/7 emergency HVAC service. Contact our award-winning team for 5-star heating service and stay in your comfort zone. For heating and 24/7 emergency service, contact Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now in downtown St. Louis, hey, we're above zero. It's now 3 degrees with no apparent wind chill right now. I'm Debbie Monterey, and these are the stories making news. In Bangor, Maine, Federal Aviation Administration says 7 people died and 1 seriously injured in the crash of a private jet in a snowstorm. 56% of the lower 48 states covered by snow this weekend. We asked AccuWeather senior meteorologist Heather Zayer how historic this storm is.
You know, it depends on where you're talking about. It's definitely going to be one of the bigger storms in some of the areas that were hit hard by ice. The Nashville area certainly did get hit hard. In particular, that comes to mind when you're talking about areas across the Northeast. They certainly had a lot of snow with a lot of places across Pennsylvania and New York State and over into New England that got at least a foot of snow. But the number of people that got over, say, 20 to 24 inches was relatively low.
St. Louis City Police say they responded to nearly 1,000 calls between Saturday morning and 7 o'clock this morning. As the winter weather bared down, they answered 977 calls. 186 of those were for motorist assist cases. There were 65 crashes during that time span, but only 2 involved injuries. A jury has convicted 38-year-old Kenneth Simpson of first-degree murder in the shooting death of a Herman police officer. Prosecutors say in March 2023, Simpson shot 2 officers, killing Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith at a convenience store, severely injuring another officer. Simpson faces life in prison without parole or the death penalty. A growing number of Republican lawmakers are calling for an impartial investigation into the fatal shooting of VA nurse Alex Preddy Saturday in Minnesota. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said Homeland Security took over the case and was blocking them from investigating, prompting a federal judge to block DHS from destroying or altering evidence at the scene. The Department of Homeland Security continues claiming Preddy was brandishing a gun despite video evidence to the contrary. CBS News reporter Anna Schechter with the Public Safety Unit says there are a lot of questions that need to be answered.
What we have seen in the recent weeks is just this rush to explain immediately. And it's essentially the criticism, especially of the federal officials, is you're rushing to these conclusions within a half an hour. There's no investigation that's been done. These things take time.
More than 60 CEOs of Minnesota-based companies have signed an open letter posted on the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce website calling for state, local, and federal officials to work together as businesses grapple with how to address tensions in the state and across the country because of federal agents shooting citizens. CEOs that signed that letter included 3M, Best Buy, General Mills, Target, United Health Group, and others. In a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal, Kanye West is apologizing for his anti-Semitic words and actions, insisting he loves Jewish people. And he apologized to them and to the black community. He says he knows he let down so badly.
Bright sunshine, brisk and bitterly cold this afternoon, high 16. Clear, rather breezy and bitterly cold tonight, low 9 early. Then temperature will rise into the upper teens by morning. Tomorrow, more sun than clouds, breezy and not as bitter, the high 30. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 31. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's sunny and 3 degrees in downtown St. Louis. The weather sponsored by Meadowview Memory Care. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Discover Meadowview Memory Care in Arnold, a small, secure community on a beautiful campus. Enjoy peace of mind with all our inclusive rates and comfortable private suites. Schedule your tour today at rspseniorliving.com.
Hello, Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe. Congratulations, KMOX, on your 100th anniversary. We're so excited that you've continued to be an important fabric and part of the St. Louis area.
Well, so we have a fraudster among us.
It's not me.
And either the administration is going to be really upset about it or they will give him a pardon. One of the two. We don't really know yet. We have to find out what the fraud is. And Chris and Amy are here to get to the bottom of it on KMOX. And we thank you for listening in. Gas House Gang is coming up at 12. Got Ackerman and Amy. And we'll talk to Bob Ramsey. The Billikens are amazing. So, Matt Pajeski, what is it that you have done?
Well, I've devised a great idea for my single friends and I. There is a local establishment that is has a reputation of being the place where girls go to meet guys who have money. Now, being a single guy,
that narrows it down.
Yeah,
yeah. Isn't that every establishment?
I think if you hadn't, we're not going to mention the place, but I think if you had not told me what it was, I'd be like, oh, I know this.
Yeah. So my buddies and I, we came up with the idea of, well, none of us really have money, but we like the girls that go there.
Okay.
Why don't we create alter egos? We'll come up with funny fake names. We'll come up with fake jobs. We'll dress super nice. We'll go to this place and kind of just do this exercise in improv. See how far we can go by talking to girls and just having fun with it. All in innocent fun. So my buddies and I had a blast coming up with fake names, fake jobs, all this. I'm going to go by a real name, actually. Bryson DeChambeau, the famous golfer.
Okay.
He said they're not going to know.
They're not going to know.
Bryson DeChambeau.
He said it sounds rich.
It does. A little foreign, like a little French.
Matt, I know that he's not Tiger Woods. I know he's not like household, but I think more than half the people, if you said his name, they would say, oh, yeah, I know who that is.
You think 22-year-old girls? Because he's 25, 26. So let's say these are 24, 25-year-old girls.
I think they follow sports or they know people who follow sports, and I'm sure these things get talked about around them. I would pick somebody else.
No, do not pick someone else. Ranch.
You saying he shouldn't do it at all?
No, I'm saying he needs to be Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay.
How does that not make this story better in every single way? Matt goes to a local bar and tries to tell all these women that he's Bryson DeChambeau, which either, like you said, sounds like a rich name and they don't know who he is, or they do know who he is, and that's when it gets interesting.
I think it'd be a lot more interesting if you introduced yourself as Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Because it's a common, Jordan's a common name. Michael's a really common name. You can get away with that.
Hard
You could
disagree. Stay with
do
Bryson.
Michael Jordan.
That's a good icebreaker, though. That's a funny conversation to have. Yeah, I know I get it all the time.
Because you look,
I'm the whitest guy out there.
Right.
Can't hoop. Yeah, and I'm Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Yes.
So my buddies and I were brainstorming other names.
Yeah.
How about Perry or Chandler or Clark? And I said, you know what? How about Wyndham Clark, another great golfer? These golfers have such great names.
Please, one of them is going to be Wyndham Clark, right?
I want one of my buddies to be Wyndham Clark. So I hope none of these girls know anything about golf, or I hope they don't Google our names because they'll know pretty quickly that we are not PGA golfers.
Yeah, like if you said, these are my two friends, Wyndham and Bryson, they've belonged to a country club their whole lives and they've never been to a buffet without an ice sculpture.
Yeah.
You know this. There's no one digging ditches like, oh, this is Wyndham and Bryson. We're digging ditches. No. Yes, you have to go with these names.
Honestly, I think you could come up with a pretty good pretentious name by just combining the two hotels.
Oh, yeah.
So like Hyatt Drury or something.
Yeah,
like
Marriott.
Marriott.
Marriott. All those are great. So then once we get the names done, we got to think, all right, what kind of jobs do we want to have?
Hampton Inn.
No, that's a
pretty good rich person.
Hampton Hyatt? How about Hampton
I like
Hyatt?
Hampton Inn.
I'm
Okay.
Perry Motel 6.
Hampton Hilton. Not Motel 6.
Oh, that's right.
No, it's real good hotels.
You're right.
I am Hampton La Quinta.
Like I don't know, Drake Renaissance. How about that?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a great
one. That's a good one.
Renaissance. I don't know. I like Hampton La Quinta.
Hello, my name is Omni.
Omni Lowe's.
So it's nice to meet you.
So we start thinking about, all right, what's a job that a rich guy would have? Stockbroker or investor. My buddy's like, why don't you be a chef to my other buddy, and you speak with like a slight tinge of a French accent, just to be a chef. And my buddy works in a restaurant, so he sort of knows the menu of his restaurant enough where he could, speak about that and at least have some sort of experience in the restaurant field where he could speak eloquently on being what he appears to be as a chef.
I'd be very careful about the chef because it's a really small percentage of chefs that are very wealthy
and are 24 years old.
Right.
And if you're a really good chef, why are you out on a Friday night? You probably would
you
be
should
working.
be working. Yeah, that's a bad one. You could be a
Dude,
restaurateur.
Dude,
where
be a
you're
trust fund, baby.
Yeah, trust fund.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it
Finance. Just say finance. Nobody knows what that means, and they all have money.
Yeah.
I think people would really be into you if you thought you had just a buttload of money, but you didn't do anything to earn any of it.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad were wealthy and they gave it to you.
Is that appealing to people?
I think chicks will love it.
They love that. Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you do as long as you have
as long as you have it, they don't care.
Okay,
You go on expensive vacations.
You brought up something Drury. Now they want to know if it's Lance Drury.
It's not Lance Drury. That's a law firm.
That could be the name I pick.
And he knows the law.
Yeah.
Lance Drury.
Weston's a good name.
Oh,
Weston,
my God.
Hyatt.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Just combine any good hotel.
We were actually thinking this would be real fraud. Change your name to a really nice like local family name. Like I could be Perry Bomarito. Oh, I'm the heir to the Bomarito fortune here in St. Louis or something like that.
I think Emo would be a great
Emo, yeah.
Great last
Can
name.
I just say this?
Yeah.
Everything was closed on Saturday night. Not Emo's. Emo's was open on Saturday night.
There were a surprising amount of places open on Saturday. Little surprised by it.
Okay, so one friend could do this. I learned this idea from Joey Vitale. He said he did not do this. He said he did it, and then we said it was terrible, and then he said, I'm joking, we didn't do this, which means he absolutely did when he was in Boston. Sometimes they would wear scrubs to a bar to make it look like they were doctors that just got off work.
That's such a great idea.
That's what Dr. Death did.
Or med school. He was young,
Are you
so
familiar?
maybe med school.
Are you familiar with the Dr. Death
Dr.
story?
Death? No, I just
It's
know.
from
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a true story about a woman. She had some money. She was a divorcee, or I don't remember if she was a widow or divorcee. I'm not sure, but had met this guy who said he was a surgeon.
Yeah.
And this podcast and this show, this whole thing they made it into a TV show. It's been out for a long time, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. she met this guy, and he said he was a surgeon, and no matter where they went, he would show up in scrubs. He was always in scrubs. So she just like, oh, he must be. And she had a lot of money, and she gave him a ton of money, and it turned out he was not.
Fraudster.
Yeah, and she said, I was a little suspicious when sometimes his scrubs were a little tattered.
Yeah.
Like, look, it's a huge signal there. And first of all, a surgeon is not showing up to the restaurant to have lunch with you.
Yeah.
Or dinner especially, if he's got scrubs.
Well, that's what I mean is like my friends who are surgeons, they are the best dressed of all of us by far.
Yeah.
I know. I look like I'm wearing scrubs. But maybe that was more of a med school thing because Joey was younger. But I do think, Matt, I really like Bryson DeChambeau and Winston Pearl. What's his name?
Wyndham Clark.
Wyndham Clark.
Yeah.
I like Wyndham Clark, Bryson DeChambeau. I think you need to roll with that because if it backfires, it's going to be great.
I think you should go with a fairly obscure president. And I know it's tough to be
Millard
obscure as a
Fillmore.
president.
Chester Arthur.
No, I mean, Rutherford Hayes would be great.
Oh, yeah. That's a
You
good
don't
one,
think
too.
Millard Fillmore?
No, that one seems really made up.
You don't think the ladies would be attracted to Millard?
Just say your name's Rutherford. And they said Rutherford.
I was
Rutherford
thinking,
Hayes.
if this goes over well, I'm going to abandon Matt Pajeski, by the way. I'm going to be Bryson DeChambeau everywhere.
Have you considered just trying to talk to a lady?
No.
Okay.
I can't do that. Matt Pajeski can't. But Bryson DeChambeau,
You know
however.
what you should do? On another night, you should be Matt Wilkes Booth and just see.
Like, yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, but...
Oh, you know what? Actually, you could do this with historical figures
Yeah.
because I don't think the kids today know anything about anything that happened
don't.
before 2010.
A texter says Perry Boyardee.
Heir to the fortune.
Because you were the chef.
You know it's Boyardee.
I am Chef Perry Boyardee.
Did you know that?
I don't know.
The real name is Boyardee. And that's why they Americanized it.
That's the
Boyardee.
conversation starter right there. Yeah, everybody calls it Boyardee. Actually,
You should
There
say
you go.
Perry Boyardee, and they're like, "What do you do?" I'm a chef, and then just see how long it takes her to go. Wait, you're
Like
Chef
Chef
Boyardee. See if she ever gets it.
Yes.
If she doesn't get it, she's not the one.
The original Chef Boyardee is Ettore Boiardi, Boiardi. Died in 1985. How about that? He was also known as Hector Boyardee.
my friends and all. I mean, we all
Boyardee.
realize we're like this all sounds like fun and stuff. We realize we're just straight up lying to people. Oh
Yes.
yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
We're lying to
you're
people.
lying.
We're deceiving people.
When are you going to do this? Because we got to follow up.
I'm gonna try to do it in February. I'm doing a dry January for now, but once February rolls around, it's on.
All right, buddy. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
You've got a little bit less than a week before
Yeah,
you can
I can't wait.
pull this off.
It's gonna be fun.
And I suppose there is a real benefit to assuming a completely different personality. And because when you go up and talk to somebody, if you get rejected, it wasn't you who got rejected. It was Hyatt Meridian.
I know.
As Colonel
right.
Ripper
Yeah.
has suggested.
Is this a crime?
No. You haven't defrauded anybody. You haven't taken their money from
No,
them.
not yet. No.
Not yet. It's not a crime yet. It's
If
not
you
a crime
assume-
until you commit it.
If you assume an entire persona
Yeah.
and then you take actual money
Yeah.
from somebody, then you could
Yeah,
be.
but like you don't want a lady to fall in love with you.
I know. Like, what if it goes too well?
Right. This is only funny because we know it's going to backfire on
Yeah.
you. If it doesn't backfire, now it feels like a crime.
It's going to be a lot like. You ever gone too far down the line with somebody
like
and
the
not
Bubble
know?
Boy.
The bubble.
Well, that's different. And not know their name, and it's too late to
Late,
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that with half the people that work here.
I'm worried that I'm gonna have to fess up one of these days to a girl and say I'm not actually Bryson DeChambeau, the surgeon. I'm Matt Pajeski, and I work in AM radio. That's gonna be a tough
No,
conversation.
no, you're FM, big boy.
Oh, that's right, FM.
She's going to
104.1 FM.
She's not going to know, but then in passing, she's going to see Bryson DeChambeau, and inevitably it will be a bad headline.
Oh,
Bryson
yeah.
DeChambeau, drunk driving, takes blood money
Yeah.
from the Saudis.
You wouldn't do that.
It's not me. It's not me.
Actually-
Oh, really, Bryson?
Here's one for you. Why don't you go by Michael Odyssey? How about that?
That's cool too.
And then you can always spell it so they know what you mean. AUDACY.
Or my name is Keith Mox. Maybe you've heard of my radio station, KMOX.
Have any of you ever done this? Have you ever lied to a woman or to a man? I mean, we just want to know, just to break the ice. Have you ever been a big old liar? Let us know what you did to lie. 314-436-7900.
If you're a lawyer, text us in and tell us if it's a crime.
It's not a crime.
Could be.
It isn't. You haven't taken money from anybody.
You've taken love. Crime of the heart.
Matt Pauley will talk sports with us at the bottom of the hour. The Super Bowl matchup is set, and once again on the sheet it says Rams take on the Seahawks, which is
Matt
not
Pauley
true.
finds out.
It's the Seahawks and Patriots in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. This is 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about 213 Complex. Now you can pick that up at Supplement Superstores, and quite simply, 213 Complex is the most effective and powerful all-natural weight loss supplement ever developed. Here's what it's doing for me and what it'll do for you. Boosts the metabolism, gets it working at full go all the time. Helps with cravings, and man, that's a big deal for me. All-day focus energy with no jitters, no crash at the end of the day. It's a great tool for achieving your goals. Get out to Supplement Superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off your 213 Complex, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
St. Louis has a voice.
KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
Another home run! 4 in a row for Newfield.
From moment to memory.
President George Bush is on his way to St. Louis right now.
Among those voices, Ron Jacober.
Welcome back to the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/plan for 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey guys, it's Glover. Right now, buy 4 windows and get 4 free and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 314-334-2522. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Fairwinds River's Edge is more than a place to live. It's a place to belong. Come see why we have been voted Best Independent Senior Living Community for 4 years in a row by U.S. News and World Report. We think you'll like it here, and the experts agree. Come see us for yourself. Call to schedule a tour and complimentary lunch, or to learn more about our upcoming App University that can help enhance your everyday life. Find us online at fairwindsriversedge.com.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hi, I'm Wendy Weiss, KMOX alum, and to everyone who's been a part of the KMOX legacy, congratulations on 100 years.
Well, I'm not convinced it's not a crime, but Matt wants to commit identity fraud and pretend to be either Bryson DeChambeau or Chef Boyardee.
I don't think it's fraud.
Oh, at a bar, because he wants to win the ladies over, and his other friend is going to go as Wyndham Clark. They want to have alter egos that appear to be wealthy, effortlessly wealthy, trust fund
Right.
baby kind of thing,
Right.
finance, things that don't mean anything. And we do have a texter, 314, says Matt needs to pray that his lady of choice does not have brothers.
Oh yeah. She'll know the names of those golfers if her brothers are into golf, right? Or you're saying they'll beat me up?
Oh,
They'll
I
beat
was
you
thinking
up.
the beating you
Oh,
up,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you're right. I guess really you better pray that she doesn't know anybody who golfs, because
Yeah.
the minute she tells any of her friends or family members that she's dating Bryson DeChambeau,
They're gonna think we hit it rich.
I think maybe you should go with Chef Boyardee. What was the first name?
Hector.
Hector Boyardee.
Well, no. So Hector, it was Ettore. Hector Boyardee was what he went by, but the original chef was Ettore Boyardee. So you tell people your last name is Boyardee, Boiardi. And then when they say, "Oh, that's kind of like Boyardee," you go, "Yeah, it was my great grandpa."
Yeah.
You could do that.
You should stick with Matt too, because then when people call you, "Hey Matt," she'll be like, "Oh wow, he really is Matt Boyardee."
You're right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It'll throw her off. It'll
There you
feel
go.
like it is confirming your identity when really you've just lied about the last name.
And all I need to do is memorize the Wikipedia page for my great grandfather. I can say, yeah, he immigrated to the United States in 1914. Like, I'm reading that right now. I could be the expert on the real Chef Boyardee and kind of make that my backstory.
And if you think you don't look Italian because you
I
have
don't.
red hair, Yannick Sinner's Italian, and he is a redhead just like you. The tennis player.
So, Amy, I have a story for you that I know you're going to love. And this happened a couple of days ago, and we didn't have an opportunity to talk about it. So I know you're going to love this.
Okay.
So you love art thievery,
Fancy crime.
jewel thievery, like what happened at the Louvre?
At the Louvre, yes. And I
Yeah.
get it, blah, blah, blah. But if no one gets hurt, and again, these guys, they wore safety vests and climbed right in during open hours and stole the jewels. It's sexy crime. It's sexy crime. It's fancy. You got to appreciate it.
Well, I've got a story for you.
Okay.
A $100 million jewel thief stole $100 million worth
Whoa.
of jewels. The largest jewelry heist in U.S. history has been deported, and as a result, he will avoid trial.
My gosh.
Great job, guys.
This is 4D chess by this guy.
Great job. A man suspected in what is said to be the largest heist escaped prosecution by being deported. He was taken to Ecuador late last month, effectively bringing the case against him to an abrupt standstill, according to recent court filings, and this was reported by the Los Angeles Times. Jason, I think it's Jason, Jeson, Nalon Priscilla Flores, was among 7 individuals indicted last year over a 2022 theft targeting a Brinks semi-trailer at a truck stop in Grapevine.
Mm-hmm.
Authorities allege the group made off with approximately $100 million in gold, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and high-end watches. And because this person has been deported, he is now no longer in danger of being prosecuted unless they bring him back
You
here
know what's
somehow.
amazing is that it was a, quote, complicated sequence of events, according to the LA Times. And ICE deported Flores around December 29th. Most of the loot has not been recovered.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, gems, lots of diamonds. So Flores, you talk about having ice. This baby.
He got away with it, too.
Ice, baby.
He got away with it. I mean, Bro.
Look,
you're not so... Okay. We want to deport criminals, right?
Don't flee the country. I won't unless we deport you.
We don't. We want... I am fully on board with deporting the violent criminals. And maybe even the criminals who steal $100 million worth of stuff. I don't think we need folks like that around here. But maybe they should serve justice first before you send them somewhere else.
Well,
maybe you should know that they're on the hook for $100 million before you send them out of the country.
I know
Have you thought about that?
This is going to be shocking that ICE may not be communicating and cooperating with everybody.
So you're saying that ICE might be incompetent?
Some of them.
Run incompetently.
Run, right. Because there are some good people that were already there that were
I'm
just
sure there
living
are.
their lives. Before.
I'm sure there are many good people there who wish they were no longer there.
Well, there was one of the guys that was running the Department of Homeland Security during Trump's first term has spoken out, and multiple other DHS officials have spoken about how horrific this is. But at any rate, federal prosecutors, they were surprised. They were going after this guy, and they thought this guy had the goods, and they thought they had the goods on him. And then, oh no, ICE deported him, and now it was a get out of jail free card.
Dude, I mean, he got away with it.
It says
it's awesome.
They deported him,
and
quote, unwittingly to the defendant's benefit.
The government deserves this to have happened to them. Absolutely
so
deserve
now
it.
this guy will avoid trial, any potential conviction, and sentence unless he returns to the United States, which is not likely to happen. I really
Awesome.
like unwittingly to the defendant's benefit. This guy's going to be living in luxury.
And no one's going to stop him. Awesome. That's Amy Marks Scores. I'm Chris Ranji. The Super Bowl is set. We know the matchup, and you can be relieved because the Rams did not advance. They are not going to the Super Bowl, but the Seahawks are. The Patriots are. Sorry about that. Talk about that, the Blues, the Billikens, everything we can get to with Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line and Rush Hour Sports. He's next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. So, what is my show? My show is 4 different people living 4 different lives, all coming together every day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. to talk about life, actual life. Not so much headlines or did you see what Trump did today or XYZ. Never predictable because I never know what I'm going to talk about from one segment to the next. So it truly is unique and unpredictable. Join us.
104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at Amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
8 degrees, mostly cloudy in St. Louis, and we still have that extreme cold warning in effect until the afternoon. The weather brought to you by Financial and Tax Strategies.
Retirement shouldn't feel like balancing your checkbook while blindfolded. I'm Gary Goldberg, and my team helps you see the big picture so you can retire younger, richer, and with less anxiety. Because guessing is not a strategy. Tune in to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Yo, Paulie!
Paulie's a great name.
Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
We talked to Matt Pauley on Mondays. He is the host of Sports Open Line, Rush Hour Sports, which happens at 5 o'clock every afternoon. And countdown to opening day on Thursdays leading into the baseball season. We're on that downswing right now. Once winter warm-up and the Cardinals caravan happens, which was a little over a week ago, now it's just waiting for spring training, and we are getting close to that. We got Matt Pauley with us. Are you ready for spring training? I'm sure that you're not a cold person. You don't like the cold, I bet.
I don't like the cold. No, I'm.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks from today, I leave February 9th. So in 2 weeks, you won't have me, by the way. In 2 weeks, I'll be up in the air around this time. But
you picked your flight right in the middle of the show.
Sounds like you're going to be like super indecisive on whether or not you want to come to work. You won't have me. I'll be up in the air. I'm not.
But
I'm not sure.
I love spring training. I love the warm weather. I love everything being baseball. I have a wife and 2 kids that I leave for a month, and that is a very challenging part of it. But outside of that, everything about spring training is awesome.
Well, we are looking forward to spring training because, even though the Cardinal season is, I guess anything can happen. You never really know. There are very few people going into this expecting them to win the division or get a wild card spot or anything like that. They are still in this transitional period. But it is nice to have baseball on the horizon. And I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Ron, you lived the baseball lifestyle for a really long time. And it's what we all gear up for those of us who cover baseball and work around baseball and have been doing it for a long time. And there's some fans who don't want to hear this, and that's okay. I'm not going to tell them how they should be feeling, but I know I'm excited about seeing what J.J. Weatherholt does in spring training. I'm still, very interested to see what moves Chaim Bloom might make over these next couple weeks, and then maybe even beyond that. I'm interested to see, even though I don't think they'll be on the opening day roster, how does Liam Doyle look in his first opportunity in Major League Spring Training? Does Quinn Matthews take another step forward where you feel really good that he's going to make his Major League debut at some point in the year? What is Joshua Baez going to look like? How does Mason Wynn feel a year after winning his first Gold Glove? Offensively, you hope that he takes a step forward. And then obviously there's the Gorman and Walker stuff that we can just repeat everything we said last year and apply it to this year. So the storylines are aplenty for spring training this year.
All right, Matt. So let's go ahead and talk about this Super Bowl. The Rams. We
Rams.
thankfully have avoided a Rams-Patriots Super Bowl, which would have been just the worst.
Because we would have seen I was on a text message yesterday. If you see that stupid field goal go through when the Rams and Patriots played, there's still 3 seconds left on the clock. There should have been 3 more seconds in that game. So that has always bothered me. But thank God we don't have that this week, so we don't have to watch that over and over and over and over again. Sorry.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I got a Patriots thing where they were so good for 20 years. I feel like they don't deserve to be good for another 20. You know, that's my feeling. And for them to get back to a Super Bowl is just really obnoxious.
I like Mike Vrabel, though. Like, that's the problem. I feel the same way you feel about the Patriots. Like, the Patriots as a entity, I do not like. And honestly, you can kind of say this about the Rams, and I hate saying about the Rams because of how much I hate that team, but Sean McVay is likable. Matthew Stafford is likable. There's a bunch of likable dudes there. But I think we can say the same thing about the Patriots. Mike Vrabel is a really easy person to root for. And when you think about his story, he was with the Titans, and he had taken that terrible, terrible franchise to the playoffs and done some really good things, and they basically have one down year, and they fire him, and now we've seen what's happened to the Titans since then. They are just an absolute dumpster fire, and right away with the Patriots, he's taking them to the Super Bowl. He's got a great quarterback to lead the way, and I do think there's something to be said for organizations that simply make good decisions, and in sports so often there's a lot of bad decision makers out there, and the Patriots, to their credit, have a lot of good decision makers, and they made the good decision to hire Mike Vrabel, and they made the good decision to go get Drake May. Like they've made a lot of good decisions, so I appreciate them for that, and that's why when you look at the Brady era of the Patriots, there were almost like 2 separate dynasties in there, and now the Patriots are doing this. Like this is already, to me, since Tom Brady first started, this is like their third entity of being a really, really good team.
Yeah, I like Mike Vrabel too, and they did make a bunch of good decisions, yada, whatever. And I want those good things for him, fine, I guess, but that also means that several million Boston fans get something good, and who the hell wants that? They don't deserve it.
All right.
If you're like 30 years old, your entire conscious life, you've had nothing but champions in your city. If you're a 30-year-old Bostonian, the Bruins, the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Patriots won multiple. I mean, like 6? That's not fair.
There was some kid, and I forgot which championship it was, but between all the Boston teams, I said to my friend and his son, "Are you going to the parade?" Like, no, there's just so many parades. There's so many. Like, he's tired. They've been to 7, and it's just an ordeal. It takes all day.
How could you want anything good for those people, Matt?
I don't have anything against the good people of Boston.
I love Boston.
Listen to this guy.
They're arrogant, and I love it. That's what I love about the Boston accent. It's so arrogant.
So
I wish I had it.
saw a tweet yesterday. It said, "Stop calling it a Boston accent. It's not an accent. Call it a speech impediment."
Have you seen the viral video of there's a game where there's a picture like a bear or a chair or a hat, and you have to say what the picture is showing on the screen as it shows it? And so this guy in Boston, he's like, "Bear, chair, care, bear, call, bear, chair, bear." Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
I do like the Boston accent. I think the town is pretty cool, but
I'm gonna find it.
Those people are too spoiled. No, to me, once you've won a championship, you don't get another one for at least 10 years, and these jerks are gonna get. Anyway, so
they're not favored, but Cardinals fans are kind of have reasons to root for the Red Sox now because of Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras being over there.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they, those guys. I hope they do well. I don't think that I hope the Red Sox do well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, if those guys are doing well, there's a better chance that the Red Sox are doing well.
All right, so let me ask you this: if you cannot root for the Cardinals, you got to pick another team to get behind. Who's it going to be? Do you have a backup team?
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was working in minor league baseball, I worked for a bunch of teams, and probably so I'm different than other people because I've worked in these organizations. So it's probably the Royals because I spent a couple years there, and there were amazing people in that organization. If I didn't have the experience working with a team, I want to go American League. I don't want to root for another National League team. I don't know. I've got kind of a soft spot in my heart for Cleveland. But I mean,
Okay.
it's not a strong thing. You know, on the National League side of things, I really want to see Tony Vitello do well with the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of rooting for him to have some success there. And if he's having success, maybe that means the Dodgers are not having as much success because they're in the same division. So there's a double thing there with the Giants doing well. But I mean, I have soft spots in my heart for players and for managers and for certain organizations and teams for various reasons. And when they're in the playoffs, those kind of come to the forefront sometimes.
Let me ask you this real quick, and this is a serious question, actually, because you mentioned the Guardians, and they have given an extension to Jose Ramirez, one of the best players in the game, and it is usually thought that a player like that, once they become a free agent, they're gone. They're not going to stay in Cleveland. Teams like the Pirates are not going to compete and keep their, a guy like Ramirez is going to go to New York or LA or Philadelphia or something like that. What does that say to you that they were able to make a deal happen for him?
It's awesome. I was so happy when it happened because I want mid-market teams to be able to keep their stars. And Jose Ramirez absolutely is that. He's taking, undervalue money to stay there. He loves Cleveland. He absolutely loves Cleveland, and he doesn't want to go anywhere else. And I never begrudge players who go for as much money as possible. They earn that, and that's something that I'm not going to be angry about. Like when Kyle Tucker signed a $60 million per year deal, I get it for him. I'm not mad at Kyle Tucker. They offered it. I'm a little bit annoyed about the situation where the Dodgers are able to do that, but in no way, shape, or form am I mad at Kyle Tucker. So I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to ask every player in professional sports to go take less money to stay with their current team. That's not what I'm saying, but that's what Ramirez did. That's the option he chose, and he made the choice that he really likes Cleveland. He's comfortable in Cleveland. He trusts the people in Cleveland, so he's going to take a little bit of less money. They're going to, the Guardians, they're going to push themselves a little bit outside of their comfort zone in terms of the money they're willing to pay, and it worked out. So I'm happy for him. I do wonder how that's going to look at the end of it. I mean, he's 33, right? Is it he's coming up on his mid-30s?
Yeah, he's 33. So he'll be 40 when the contract's up.
Yeah, that contract ends in 2032. So there might be some bad years on the backside of that contract, and that could end up hurting Cleveland. But I think that is well worth having that guy play through all of his best possible years in that city.
All right. Before we end things, I would like to go back to Boston. Have you seen that? So they flash pictures on the screen and they light up, and it's like a bear.
Was that guy actually from Boston or pretending to be?
Yes, he was from Boston, and you're supposed to say it on the beat, and it gets faster and faster, and it's kind of a mind warp because it's like when you're looking at the color, or you're looking at the word that says red, but it's written in green, and you're supposed to say what color is the font. It's difficult. It's a trick on your brain, and that's what this is supposed to be. But this lady filmed her Bostonian boyfriend, and I think it's awesome.
Do we know the name of that? I've seen clips of that game, and it looks fun. Do we know the name of that game?
We don't.
Is it an app?
I've never
It's
even
like an
heard
app
of it.
Okay, maybe somebody can text in and say what it is, because I've seen video clips of it before, and it looks fun. I was like, I'd like to do that.
It's just called the Say the Word on Beat Challenge, or Say It on Beat Challenge. So the song is, there's a song that plays, and you just have to say those words really quickly on beat.
Yeah, there's just YouTube videos, looks like you can find with that game.
I thought it was like some sort of game or
Yeah,
something.
no.
So it should be.
Hey,
Some
hey,
app
hey,
developer
hey,
should
hey,
make
hey,
that the
hey,
thing.
hey.
I don't even know how you would do it.
That was CBS News, by the way. It made the national news.
Poor Bostonians. Nothing ever breaks right for those people.
You guys should
Dude.
play that game on like Fridays. You two against each other and see. Yeah, that could
I don't
be
know
a
that it
Chris and
translates
Amy
on
thing.
radio,
It
though.
may not. Hey, real quick, before we say goodbye, are the Blues ever going to win again? Or
No.
Okay.
Nope, they're done. They're that whole winning thing. They can do a lot of other things, but finding a way to win that's overrated. They're,
All right, well.
No.
I mean, 4 in a row, 7 of their last 9. It's finally at the point where I don't think we can start doing, well, if they get their things together, they're only so-and-so points back out of play. Let's see, they have 47 points right now. San Jose is the final team in the playoffs at 55. 8 points is a lot to make up. It would be beyond miraculous at this point. They have a negative 52 goal differential. I mean, that is
That's crazy.
Vancouver has the same one, so they're not on an island when it comes to that. But if they are on an island, there's only one other team with them.
Well, tell you who's great. The Billikens, 19-1.
Oh, yeah.
They are looking for their 20th win tomorrow against George Washington, and that game will be right here. So we
Coach's show tonight.
Coach's show tonight with Josh Schertz.
Yep, that'll be at 6 o'clock, and then I've got Sports Open Line after that. But so much excitement about this Billikens basketball team, and rightfully so. They are good. They are fun. I mean, that game the other day against St. Bonaventure, that first half was as dominant of a first half as they put up 58 points in the first half, holding St. Bonaventure to 26. That was ridiculous what they did against St. Bonaventure on Friday.
It's awesome. Thanks, Matt.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt Pauley's got Rush Hour Sports at 5 o'clock today. Coach's show later on. Afterwards, Sports Open Line and countdown to opening day on Thursday. Don't forget about that. We should tell you that we, on this show, Amy and I, we are going to be broadcasting live from the SLU campus on Friday. We're going to be there Friday ahead of the Billikens Blizzard.
There's always snow that day.
There usually is.
Yeah.
And they are playing Dayton that night. So we're going to be at the Student Center. We love that broadcast, and we are going to be there Friday live on the SLU campus. The Billikens could be 20-1 by the time that game happens on Friday. Just really good stuff. They are amazing. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, band cams, contest VIP packages, and more, hosted by RDJ and DJ Dex. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
Let's ring in the new year by finally checking off something that actually matters. years. Your old videotapes and photos are fading more every year. VCRs are disappearing, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most important memories. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your memories by converting all your videotapes, photos, and film reels into digital files. And this year, it's easier than ever.
Introducing our biggest kit yet, able to hold up to 80 videotapes or film reels or 2,000 photos. It's perfect for big collections. You can even send in old DVDs, memory cards, flip phones, or early generation iPhones.
Legacy Box is truly the easiest New Year's resolution you'll ever keep. Just fill your box and send it in. As the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos, all work is done in the U.S., and we're trusted by over 1 million families.
Start the new year right by rescuing the moments you haven't watched in years. Go to legacybox.com/radio for an incredible 55% off. That's legacybox.com/radio for 55% off.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. If you'd like to discuss a lawsuit, text LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232, LEVEL to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait. And don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This text message, and I would love to get to the bottom of this one. It says, I've grown up in St. Louis, and the Cardinals are like 8th on my list of favorite teams.
That's not true.
How's that possible?
I think he's just a hater. Or she's just a hater.
We need you to follow up if you're the 314 texting in. I'm not saying it's not possible. I would just like to know how you got there. How it could be 8th. Has it always been that way for you? Why?
And all
was
the
somebody
other...
in your family, were they fans of a different team and you grew up with that?
And are the first 7 in Missouri? Can
That's
you
an even
name
better
8
question.
Missouri teams?
8 Missouri teams.
Yes, you can.
Okay, Missouri.
In the state.
Yeah, Missouri.
Missouri State?
Missouri State.
Mizzou?
That's Mizzou.
That's 2.
Well, I say yes. Truman State.
3.
Southeast Missouri State.
Not just college teams. Lindenwood, SLU, and Umsel. We're done.
Royals. Chiefs.
Yeah. City SC.
City SC.
Battlehawks.
Battlehawks. The Blues.
How did you forget all of those? You got Southeast Missouri State before the Blues, the Battlehawks, and City.
McKendree Field Hockey.
No. That's in Illinois.
Oh, sorry. What
McKendree is in
doofus.
Illinois.
You know, you say stuff like that, no one's going to believe you're
right.
Matt Boyardee.
Yeah, you need to lock that up, pal, because you're not smooth enough for this operation.
Oh,
Jacob watching on YouTube, good point. Matt, you need a name that's famous enough last name to be recognized, but not easily Googleable. That's a good one.
No.
Googleable.
Yes, but no, you can swipe a last name.
Yeah.
But don't assume a person. Don't say, like, I'm Bryson DeChambeau.
No, you should say that.
No, because that one's easily, no.
There's going to be multiple trial runs with this thing. I don't think it's going to stop at one.
Go ahead and use that one and see if you get past the first lady.
I'm going to workshop some names.
All right.
Yeah.
Wish you the best of luck.
I think you should see which works better, Bryson DeChambeau or Matt Boyardee.
Yeah.
Following the events in Minnesota, I feel like we said that a few weeks ago. We did. And we're doing it again. Andrew Egger, White House correspondent and co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter for The Bulwark, will join us next and give us his thoughts. When we come back, it's hour 3 of 3 on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
I dared Archwell Health to keep track of my vitals and my grandkids' names.
I dared Archwell Health to simplify my prescriptions, so Max and I have more time to play. Good boy.
And I dared Archwell Health to be closer than my neighborhood coffee shop.
Our members dared us to do more as a primary care provider for adults age 60 and up. So we made it our mission. Visit archwellhealth.com and become a member today. Archwell Health. We dare to care.
I was ordering food from our usual place for the big meeting. My VP said, "Please, God, no."
For workplaces suffering with corporate catering deficiency, every day's a struggle.
The food was always meh and over budget. Before Easy Cater, I thought that was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat CCD with a huge variety of restaurants, help meet dietary needs, and stay on budget. Use daily. One platform lets you save time and thrive. Ask your web browser about Easy Cater or start an order at easycater.com.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When life happens and you need to sell your St. Louis area home, call trusted realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria is St. Louis's real estate expert with more than 22 years of experience and expertise, helping you sell quickly and for the most money.
Selling your home can be so stressful, especially when life happens, like a sudden job change, a passing of a loved one, or a growing family. Knowing exactly how much your home will sell in today's market is the first step. Then I back it up with an upfront written guarantee. My guarantee is simple and easy to understand. If I can't sell your home at our agreed upon price and time frame, I'll buy it myself.
When life happens, the name to remember is Gloria Liu, Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. I strongly suggest you call her right now at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. It is 11 o'clock. We've got sunshine and 7 degrees now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. All hands on deck all weekend trying to clear the snow. The most challenging places, says IDOT engineer Joe Monroe, is entrance and exit ramps that get icy.
Don't hammer the brakes. If you're starting to lose it, roll out of the accelerator and try to manage it with your steering wheel if you can.
He says the sun will pose a challenge for drivers with the glare off the snow. Overnight warming locations in Alton, Edwardsville, and Granite City are bracing for a full week this week as temperatures are expected to remain below normal. The volunteers running the OWL locations say they are running low on snacks and could use some donations. They also welcome new volunteers to help staff each location. The best way to get in touch with organizers is through the Overnight Warming Locations Facebook page. Ameren asking customers to limit energy use because of high demand. can. They suggest unplugging unused appliances, lowering the thermostat, and covering drafty windows. Ameren says it has enough energy to cover needs, adding that reducing energy use will make sure everyone in the Midwest is safe in the cold weather. Illinois senior U.S. Senator Dick Durbin says the person overseeing the Trump administration's immigration enforcement push needs to be held accountable, and he's moving to do that.
Senator Durbin says ICE agents have been unpredictable and have operated outside the Constitution.
What they have done in Chicago and Minnesota and other places is to terrorize a population of innocent people.
And the ranking Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee says when he and colleagues wanted to ask Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem about immigration enforcement last year, she refused to appear.
It's the first time in modern memory that the head of the department would not be held accountable and questioned by colleagues in the Senate.
The senator says he plans to ask the committee this week to issue a subpoena compelling Secretary Noem to testify about agents' actions.
If she refuses to come before the committee, she should be replaced.
It's not clear whether that would succeed in a committee controlled by Republicans.
A federal judge will hear arguments on whether she should at least temporarily halt the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. The state of Minnesota and the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul sued the Department of Homeland Security earlier this month, 5 days after Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE. The shooting of Alex Preddy by a Border Patrol officer on Saturday has only added urgency to the case. The ratings are in for the nationally televised 2025 Musial Awards, and they were the biggest ever. The Good Sportsmanship Awards show, recorded before a live audience at Stifel Theater, garnered more than 2 million viewers. Those are the highest ratings in the 7 years that the show has aired on CBS and streamed on Paramount+.
This afternoon will be brisk and bitterly cold despite abundant sunshine, high 16. Clear tonight, rather breezy at times and bitterly cold, although 9 above. Temperatures will slowly rise into the upper teens by morning. Sunshine and some clouds tomorrow, breezy and not as harsh, the high 30. Mostly sunny Wednesday, high 31. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, it is sunny, and we've got 7 big degrees. The weather is sponsored by the Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Sandberg Phoenix serves your business in litigation, intellectual property, and products liability. We're more than a law firm. We're committed to your success. Learn more at sandbergphoenix.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
A lot has been happening in the state of Minnesota as a result of immigration enforcement, and then the shooting and killing of a bystander over the weekend, which has prompted a lot of outrage in the state. To talk about that with us, what happens moving forward, the White House response, and what they might do moving forward, Andrew Egger from the Bulwark, White House correspondent, co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter, is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Andrew.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Let me get your thoughts on just what happened over the weekend, because just about everybody has some kind of opinion on this. And I think so far from what I can tell, most people thought what happened was pretty horrific. And I've only seen a few folks really defending actions of Border Patrol over the weekend. How do you see it?
Yeah, so there's a couple different things to unpack here. The first is that you're absolutely right. I mean, a lot of people have seen this video right now. What happens is horrific in this video. We can't see everything that happens, immediately leading up to the altercation. But what we can see is that this guy, Alex Preddy, who is videotaping as some other women are kind of jawing at a Border Patrol agents there. He kind of puts his body in between a woman who a Border Patrol agent has just shoved down and the agent, and he's kind of immediately pepper sprayed, taken to the ground, dragged into a scrum. He's kind of on all fours there. They then seem to immediately clock that he has a concealed weapon. He's a concealed carry permit holder. He is carrying a pistol in his holster. Somebody yells "gun, gun, gun." Somebody else sort of takes the gun out of his holster, and seconds after that, they're firing, and he's dead on the ground. There are a range of kind of interpretations of this. Basically, the vast majority, we already have a little bit of kind of snap that polling on this. The vast majority of people who have seen this video, and I am among them, I will say, basically see this as totally ridiculous behavior on the officer's part. Obviously everything is moving very quickly. They are suddenly discovering that there's a gun on this person, but at no point does he appear to make a move for the gun. He's already been kind of pepper sprayed and brought to the ground sort of gratuitously after never taking a swing at an agent, never doing anything other than kind of like stand between the agent and this woman that the agent has just pushed down. And so that's one element of it, is like maybe some people could say that in kind of the heat of the moment, it's a defensible thing to have happened, but almost everybody who sees it is like, wow, that was horrible. At the very least, it was horrible. DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, had a different take. Right as this news was breaking, they got, they kind of rushed to battle stations on their kind of public messaging, and they said, this is a guy who approached law enforcement with a weapon. We believe it was his intent to murder as many law enforcement agents as he possibly could and do, quote, maximum damage. That's the statement that they are making as these videos are starting to come out that shows something wildly different. And so that's the context in which everything else has taken place, that everybody is digesting these horrible videos, these horrible things that have happened, and they are simultaneously seeing the federal government lying. I mean, openly lying about what actually took place on that camera. That's not to absolutely say with 100% certainty that the agent, committed a murder or anything like that. Although there's a pretty strong case to be made that is basically what happened. But even kind of behind the fog of even given all the fog of war stuff there, what is undeniable is that the federal government was immediately moving to smear this guy who had just been shot by saying just demonstrably false and untrue things about him. So that has kind of primed the sort of extreme jitteriness that and obviously this is all on top of weeks of unrest already in the city of Minneapolis, with the Department of Homeland Security having surged all of this Border Patrol in there, and then of course with the shooting of Renee Good only about a week ago as well. So it's all very, very kind of torqued up right now there, and what we're all waiting to see is will the federal government continue to kind of like push the gas pedal down further? Will Donald Trump consider invoking the Insurrection Act, or will it go the other way? And right now, it sort of remains to be seen, but the very, very early indications this morning are that perhaps the government realizes it has kind of dug itself a hole here and may end up actually kind of pulling back a little bit. We can talk about that as well.
Yeah, because like you said, so many videos from different angles, and Alex Preddy does not pull his gun, and there are how many law enforcement officers around him? He's on the ground, and it's only after they take his gun that they start unloading the full, however many bullets into him. And so one element would be the lies. Like you said, we can see with our own eyes. Everyone can see with our own eyes what happened, and that Kristi Noem is lying. Bavino is lying. The second thing is there's the well, he had a gun. Well, he had a gun. You had a Central District of California U.S. attorney say, if you approach law enforcement and you have a gun, there's a good chance they can shoot you. Well, the NRA said, no, that's absolutely not true. He was a legal, law-abiding citizen, a legal gun owner. And so you have...
They did blame Tim Walz first.
Oh,
in
the
a
NRA.
tweet. Yeah.
Oh, well, in the one NRA tweet, I didn't even see Tim Walz mentioned. They just said, no, that's not true. And we also know many January 6 defendants were charged with carrying guns. Multiple shot those guns in the air, and they were all pardoned. So I don't know if you want to address like the lies first or just the flagrant hypocrisy from those that claimed to be pro-gun. In this situation, there's so many angles. I kind of don't know which one to take, Andrew. But
I know.
Is even the gun
totally
issue? Isn't that something that would split the right? Like all of a sudden they're like, well, if you have a gun, you might get shot by law enforcement, and it's your fault.
Yeah, and there are some people. It's not just kind of the official bodies of the Second Amendment groups that are saying, well, actually, no, it's not quite how it works. There are some people who are kind of grappling with this tension that you can see, on the right. To me, when you watch this video, just to that point, to that argument about sort of like confronting law enforcement while packing being like a dangerous thing, one of the most striking things about these videos, and anybody can go watch them, to me, is that at every point in this video, the escalation is taking place on the part of the officers. It's this Border Patrol agent who pursues this woman, 30 feet across the road to give her like a full body 2-arm shove. So she goes kind of careening down into the snow and then whips out his pepper spray. And at that point, Alex Preddy does the only thing that is an active act from him in the entire video, which is he just steps in between the two of them with his arms straight up in the air, basically just kind of like putting himself in between as a human shield for this woman, but not making an aggressive act toward that agent in any way, by any stretch. Then he gets pepper sprayed. Then he gets dragged to the ground. Then he gets pulled into the scrum. Then they're kind of struggling to hold him down and grabbing his gun and shooting him. And like at no point in this does this guy have even an opportunity to be like at no point can you hang agency on him and say, well, you shouldn't have done this violent action toward an officer while you were packing. He doesn't. At no point does he do that. So it's all kind of taking place in this realm of sort of like bad faith spin and sort of like sneaking different lies into the narrative. And you'll see a lot of people who say, well, he shouldn't have drew on the officers if he didn't want to get shot. He never drew on the officers. I mean, there's a lot of people claiming a lot of things that are facts, just not in evidence about this video. And the other element of it all is just the question of what happened immediately after. And obviously we're talking about the political response. I mentioned a little bit the political response of will Donald Trump and Kristi Noem kind of scale back as a matter of policy. But there's also just the matter of the initial investigation of the actual event. And everything that we are seeing right now seems to suggest that there isn't going to be much of a real investigation. They've gestured toward the idea of some kind of investigation going forward, but Dan Bavino has said we're not going to know the officer's name who pulled the trigger. He's already out of state. He's back on the job. He has not been placed on administrative leave, according to Dan Bavino this morning. There was conflict between DHS, between the federal officers there on the ground and local law enforcement. Who were responding to all of these 911 calls, who went and immediately wanted to establish a crime scene, were initially told by federal officers that they were not going to be able to establish a crime scene. Then the police chief in Minneapolis insisted that they establish a crime scene there. Then, instead of helping the local law enforcement establish that crime scene and preserve that crime scene, at that point, basically the entire federal apparatus just up and bailed out. And we heard pretty quickly from state authorities and city authorities that they were then not able to preserve the scene. So there's just all sorts of there's about 50 different reasons why people should not be able to have confidence in the outcome of any investigation of this specific thing, which it lends itself to more unrest and more kind of like, anger at a really charged moment where this stuff is all kind of spilling out in the streets, and nobody seems to be able to have any confidence that the federal government is dealing straight on any of this stuff here. So it's a really charged moment. And like I said, the best hope I think a lot of people have right now is that the White House will start to see this as enough of a political liability that they decide maybe this kind of big theatrical production that we decided to stage in Minneapolis for political purposes, because they thought that, going in after there were these revelations of fraud in the state was going to be basically like a political PR win for them. Obviously, it is not turning out that way. So it seems possible, although we don't really know yet, that we'll hear some new stuff out of the White House today. The president did, for instance, say this morning that Tom Homan, his border czar, is heading to Minneapolis, which if you read the tea leaves of how this stuff plays out, he has kind of been at odds with Kristi Noem over different enforcement strategies here. So there is a way of reading that where you can see Homan going out there as them trying to move to a more orderly, less explosive, less destructive enforcement policy in Minneapolis going forward. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a whole lot of confidence in that, but we'll see what does happen. There was also the reporting that the state of Minnesota, if they were to turn over their voter rolls, then ICE and Border Patrol would leave That's what they want. What is that all about? And why would that have anything to do with border enforcement?
Yeah, so this is a letter that Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, sent to state officials a couple of days ago, basically laying out, look, you guys are asking us to get ICE out of these streets. Here's what needs to happen. First, they want the state government of Minnesota to turn over to the federal government a bunch of information related to that Minnesota fraud scandal that we've talked about in the past that I mentioned just a minute ago. The second thing is that they want state and specifically local officials in Minneapolis to start cooperating with ICE more. They want county jails to turn over detainees who have ICE detainers for them, hand them over to ICE, when they're released from county jails. But then the third thing, and this is the thing that you just mentioned, and that has got a lot of Democrats backs up a lot right now, is the idea that the state of Minnesota needs to turn over its voter roll to the federal government. Now, this is sort of like a longstanding conservative gripe about some of these blue states. They don't think that they do a very good job kind of maintaining healthy voter rolls. There are too many people who have moved out of state or who have died or whatever who are still on those rolls, and in theory that opens up possibilities of fraud. But that kind of longstanding conservative gripe is one thing. And the fact that the current U.S. president and his current government continue to make up lies about the 2020 election and say that it was stolen from them, and continue to make a lot of noise about the possibility of Democrats fraudulently stealing future elections is another. And so I think what a lot of Democrats see this as is basically an attempt to use these ICE agents and Border Patrol agents in the streets of Minneapolis to strong arm them into giving over election infrastructure to the federal government that they will then use as ammunition to create more of these sorts of bad faith attacks that they've trafficked in the past about fraud and about all of these things. It really does just go back to the complete breakdown of trust here, right? I mean, like you could imagine a situation in which, the federal government and the state government negotiating over something like voter rolls could be like a mutually beneficial, like good government, good policy sort of thing. But when state officials in Minnesota or in a lot of other places around the country look at this federal government and look at this Justice Department and look at the way that Pam Bondi has comported herself like the president's personal attorney for a president who has made wild and insane claims about fraudulent elections for years on end now. There's just not a lot of trust and not a lot of love lost, and it creates these breakdowns in even normal functioning, to say nothing of the sort of like completely abnormal circumstances during which all of this is taking place in terms of unrest in Minneapolis.
Andrew Egger, we always love talking to you on Monday. We appreciate your time. Thank you for being with us again today.
Thanks, guys. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, it very much is. Andrew is White House correspondent, co-author of the Morning Shots newsletter for The Bulwark, and a St. Louis native. It's the Chris and Amy Show. Gas House Gang is coming up at 12 with Tom Ackerman and me. Amy will stick around and talk some hockey. We will talk basketball with Bob Ramsey, the Billikens. They're about to win their 20th. I'm declaring it now, tomorrow. They're going to win their 20th game of the season. They are rolling. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Thank you, St. Louis, for making Genesis of St. Charles your most trusted and #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2026. We know your time is valuable. That's why every purchase comes with 3 years of complimentary Genesis Service Valet. Unlock your e-price and save. That means complimentary vehicle pickup and delivery, plus a loaner vehicle at no additional cost. Or want something new? We'll bring the test drive to you. Visit genesisofstcharles.com today. Based on GMA sales records for 2025. See dealer for details.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Paid for by government. The 1986 to 2021 United States Silver Eagle, the first ever U.S. silver dollar minted in 99.9% pure silver and is the best-selling coin in the world. These original and historic silver dollars have ceased production forever. They will never be minted again. For a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government-struck silver dollars are being released to the public. You can own a full pound of original U.S. silver dollar coins featuring Lady Liberty and the heraldic eagle, never to be struck again. Guaranteed. Call now to secure original United States Silver Eagles by the pound. The first U.S. silver dollars ever to be struck in 99.9% pure silver. Plus, receive a free bonus, an American Collector's Pack valued at over $40 and free shipping with every order. Call 1-800-560-6468 now to secure your full pound bag of United States Silver Eagle coins before they are gone. That's 1-800-560-6468.
At Graybar, we know your time is money. That's why our services go beyond parts and products. With kitting, pre-assembly, wire carts, and Graybar smart reels that keep you moving. We stage materials and manage logistics so you can spend less time sorting and more time installing. And with locations nationwide, we deliver when and where you need it, working to make your job easier every step of the way. Yep, Graybar does that.
St. Louis has a voice.
This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
That voice has shared our stories from headline to history.
The St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions.
From moment to memory.
Now there is only one Berlin.
Among those voices, Wendy Weiss.
We'll have more on a troop deployment to Bosnia.
Working at KMOX is an honor and a responsibility to represent this community. It's one we take seriously. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
Hello, St. Louis. Proud son of St. Louis, John Hamm here, wishing KMOX a happy 100th birthday, a centennial of being the voice of St. Louis.
Good morning. This is all political, what's going on here. Apparently, Trump doesn't like Waltz, and he's going to make him pay for it. Through the retribution, through his state. So it's just, it's the same old, trying to get back at anybody that ever said anything against him, and the American people are paying for this.
That is Joe from St. Louis. If you agree or don't, you are welcome to leave a voice message on the Odyssey app. Very simple to use the feature. It's right there if you're listening to the station. There's a button that says leave a message. And you just record it and send it to us. We'd like them under 30 seconds if you can do that. And we appreciate you participating in the show. You can also text us if you want at 314-436-7900. Phone calls are also welcome right there. So, Amy and I have given our thoughts a little bit on what happened in Minnesota. And I keep seeing this one thing, which is, it does bother me when people look at an incident like this. And it's not to say there aren't events that do happen that can serve as Rorschach tests, where the people who are on one side are going to see one thing and other people on another side are going to see another. And there is gray area in the incident. I can concede that if you're really trying in the Renee Good shooting from a few weeks ago, that officer was in front of her car. He probably thought in that moment that she was going to run him over. Also, he should not have been in front of her car because it is policy, their policy, and law enforcement policy to not stand in front of a vehicle. So he did it wrong. So that guy was incompetent, but I can concede that maybe in that moment he felt threatened. He felt his life was being threatened. That's fine. In this one, though, I'm sorry, but the Rorschach on this one, there is no Rorschach. All of the videos that you could go watch them for yourself. And this is what I would encourage anybody to do. Don't just take anybody's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Kristi Noem's word for it. Don't take Governor Walz. Don't take anybody's word for it. Go find every video from the incident and watch it for yourself. And if you come away with that and don't think, oh, my God, that was really bad, then I don't know what to tell you. Because it is pretty clear what's going on in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing the administration and the most ardent supporters of the administration doing the tactic that we know Trump did going back to the 70s and 80s with Roy Cohn, his lawyer, it is a prescribed tactic for how you operate. You never, ever concede and you deny everything. Period. Full stop. You never concede. So that means if you have a video of Border Patrol agents unloading the entire clip into some guy's back, you never concede and you still deny. You weaponize litigation. You got to use lawsuits all the time. We see the president do this all the time. Use media manipulation. Use public statements. We watch Kristi Noem lie to our faces on national TV. And you use media manipulation with interviews, social media, so forth. And you use public opinion over anything else. Like, well, here's how we're going to feel about this situation. And what happens is truth gets buried because it all stems back to you can't ever concede and everything is personal. That's why Trump didn't just weaponize lawsuits, as he has. He weaponized the National Guard and ICE and Border Patrol. And that's why he oversaturated Minnesota with these people. It's why you up the rhetoric of us versus them. It is escalating tensions purposefully. And you can say, well, if you know it's tense, don't go to protest. Well, first of all, I'd be super careful with blaming people exercising their First and Second Amendment rights, which you praised up until this point. I'd be super careful about warning people against those because if you exercise First and Second Amendment rights, you deserve to be shot. But again, this is Trumpian tactics, and I knew it would be bad. I didn't know in the first year we'd watch American citizens get gunned down in the street by federal agents.
As far as amendments go, if it applies to you, it applies to everybody. It's not just for the people you agree with politically. It's everyone. I personally am not the biggest fan of walking around with a gun. I don't think citizens should do that. It's not my call, though. It's in the amendment. We all have the right to do it if we want to, depending on your state. And he was well within his rights to do it, whether he's in a restaurant or a coffee shop or a protest. It's in his rights to do so. He didn't pull the gun. He didn't threaten anybody with it. He didn't point it at anybody. He just had it on him. You're allowed to do that. Again, I don't think you should be allowed to do that, but that's the law. And if the law is good for you, then it's good for everybody else around you as well. When we come back, we're going to talk to Dr. F. Perry Wilson. Is he a friend of the show? I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. And right now, we are wrapping up dry January. Well, some people are. Not everybody participates. But what really are the health benefits of it? And does it really matter if you go back to wet February? So we will talk to Dr. F. Perry Wilson about that when we come back. But you need to know that it is last call for football on FanDuel for now. One final Sunday, one last kickoff, the final chance to place your bets before the NFL season closes its tab. Super Bowl 60 is coming up. FanDuel making sure you're in on it. If you're a new customer You can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. So if you're going with the favorite, it happens to be the Seahawks in this one, a 4.5-point favorite over the Patriots, or you're going to go with New England riding with the underdog or build a one last same game parlay. You can make it count here because after the Super Bowl, the season's over and football is officially done. Last call for football on FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of Super Bowl 60. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
For 100 years, you've welcomed KMOX into your cars, your kitchens, and your daily routines.
You've trusted us through breaking news, championship celebrations, and the stories that shaped our city.
You've listened during moments of joy and leaned on us when times were uncertain.
From overnight shifts to early mornings, from one generation to the next, you've made KMOX a part of your life.
From everyone at KMOX, thank you, St. Louis, for 100 unforgettable years.
KMOX Radio, the voice of St. Louis.
John Pertzborn here, and I've come to respect the good works of Hardy's Rise and Shine for Heat benefit, supporting heatupstlouis.org, where 100% of the proceeds help families and seniors with Missouri and Illinois utilities. It's Friday, February 13th, your lucky day. Volunteer now or pre-order sacks of sausage or egg biscuits only at heatupstlouis.org. Put the biscuits down, gentry.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's 11. Feels like 17, though, because the sun is out. Mostly sunny and bitterly cold today. A high of 16. Tonight, clear and very cold, a low of 8.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up. Most home projects, you're like, got this. But rewiring a hot main or putting 120 amps to an outlet, you're like, nope, not this. Smart. Calling Jerry Kelly? Smarter. Getting them to perform an electrical safety check before work's needed? That's wisdom.
JerryKelly.com. As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3,000.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 369-369. AREA to 369-369. AREA to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
It is still January, as those of you doing dry January are probably pretty aware of. Poor Matt. He wants to go to a bar and meet some ladies, but he's got to wait until next month.
He can't wait.
So in the meantime, we're going to chat with friend of the show, Dr. F. Perry Wilson, director of the Clinical and Translational Research Accelerator at Yale University, because Dr. Wilson was interested in dry January as well. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks. This is my first dry January. I'm 26 days in, so I'm feeling it.
Are you usually pretty plastered over there at Yale?
Yeah.
you know, Yale's known for being a real party school.
It is. That's where you go if all you want to do is party. So,
all right. So,
yeah.
how do you actually feel?
Yeah. Well, and why did you do it? Why is this your first? Give us the lowdown.
Yeah. Well. So I decided to pull together the data because I'm an inherently skeptical person. I heard of a lot of people doing this, and I was like, is this really going to help? And more importantly, like, if you just don't drink for a month, but then you go back to your old habits, have you really done anything? And so I started digging into it, and I was actually pretty surprised at how much can improve in terms of your liver health, but also some of your overall health in the course of just a month without alcohol intake. And I was impressed enough that I was like, all right, I'm just going to give this a shot. So I gave it a shot.
And?
Well,
I'm sad.
I'll tell you. A lot of people I talk to who've done this say, oh, I feel great. I'm sleeping better and I've got more energy and I'm more focused. And, to be honest, I don't feel any different.
See?
I don't. I mean, maybe if I didn't test my blood or anything, so I don't know. But like, I'm gonna finish it out because we're so close to the end. But I think I'm sleeping just the same. I don't feel like I have an extra spring in my step or anything like that. So your mileage may vary on these subjective measures of dry January.
This is interesting because I said the exact same thing during COVID when we were all, holing up at home. And
because you're a decent drinker, regular drinker?
Yeah, but I don't do it alone.
Yeah.
I don't like to sit at home and have a beer and watch a game or, have a glass of wine with dinner. Like, I just don't, if I'm not doing it socially, I just don't care to do it really at all.
So
not
then
that much. I didn't feel any better.
Yeah, and it clearly, the data does suggest that you're going to get more mileage out of it the more you drink at baseline, right? Like if you drink, 2 days a month and then you drop it down to 0 days a month, it's probably not going to make too much of a difference for you. I think I'm probably more of a regular drinker than you are. I am a glass of wine at dinner kind of guy. I like with my wife, so I'm not doing it just sitting there by myself. But I do sort of like that.
I'm not judging you. I mean,
well,
you can.
just, in my office before patients come in. No.
Hell yeah. Whoa, no.
No, then we can judge. No. But I always like the sort of ritual of it. It's sort of, the glass of wine was like, okay, the day is over. Now it's time to relax. And I do miss that a little bit. So I dug into the data about, anxiety and sort of stress levels and dry January, thinking like maybe alcohol's, takes the edge off and people need that and they get a little more on edge during dry January. No data to support that whatsoever. In fact, every study I found suggested that more alcohol intake increases anxiety, increases stress levels and things like that. So I can't justify my glass of wine based on at least the medical studies so far.
I know. I wonder, I think like my dad would have a glass of wine after work, right? Like with dinner or something like that. He was not a drinker. Like we never had beer in the house. He wasn't a beer drinker, but he would have maybe a cocktail or a glass of wine. And it was kind of part of the ritual. Like it's the end of the day. And I feel like my initial response would be that would actually be a calming mechanism, I guess, if you're only having one glass. And I was like, I drank so infrequently that I think it's been 14 months since I've had a drink. It's just kind of accidentally. It's 14 months. And like, of course, I don't tell a difference.
A dry 2025.
Yeah, because like I wasn't a big drinker before. Like I didn't drink until I was almost 30. And then when I did drink, hilariously, I just went straight to bourbon. So I'll drink straight bourbon or straight tequila, believe it or not. But I've never liked the sugary drinks. I don't drink beer. And it was always a little bit more of a ritual. So I don't think I drank enough to feel a difference when I don't drink at all? Because I don't feel any different either.
The term I came across that I just love for this is for people who benefit from dry January was health conscious hazardous drinkers, which I think perfectly encapsulates this sort of idea of people who do actually drink, a fair amount, more than you do certainly, and maybe a bit more than I do, but who are aware of that and are sort of, they are health conscious. They try to be healthy in other ways. They're getting exercise, and these tend to be the people who do this kind of thing. But I will say, just not to poo-poo dry January too much, that the data is pretty good, that your blood pressure goes down. People who did dry January lost on average about 3 pounds over the course of the month. Or you forget that alcohol has a lot of calories in it, so there's some weight loss associated with it. There's an interesting study that looked at liver fibrosis. So it's sort of how hard your liver is. You can use an ultrasound to detect how hard the liver is, and 80% of the people who completed dry January in that study had softer livers at the end of January than they did at the beginning, which is a good sign that there's sort of less inflammation in the liver, less fibrosis in the liver. So, for people who are doing it, it definitely can help. And I think the thing that I was worried about is what happens February 1st. And one encouraging study from the UK, which really has done more of this research than anyone else, because dry January actually started, it was a UK program that sort of spread to the US. So they have a fair amount of research out there. They revisited people in August, and they found that people who completed dry January, although they were drinking again in August, on average, they were drinking significantly less, about 2 less heavy drinking days per month than similar people who didn't do dry January. And that's, 6-7 months, 6-7 months in. So I think it does kind of teach you that, you don't need alcohol. It reminds me, it's like, oh yeah, I can go and hang out with friends and not have a drink. I can, be stressed out about work and not have a drink. And that self-efficacy is a good thing to learn from time to time.
So maybe it does change your behavior, which would be good for your health in the long term. But if you go right back in February to doing it exactly the way you did it before, you just took off the month of January, what I'm gathering is it doesn't really change your health all that much. It's just you took off 1 month and you go right back to your old your old ways. So there's nothing long-term about it in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, as is true of, most temporary health interventions, right? You decide to go to the gym every day for a month, and that's great at the end of the month. But if then you stop, you sort of lose it. But the data does suggest that that's not what typically happens. People who do it tend to drink a little bit less for the rest of the year. And we're not sure why, but my theory is that they've kind of learned somewhere, you break that habit. And these things can, for some of us, can be quite habitual. It's just, you walk in the door after a day of work, you hang up your coat, you pour a glass of wine, that gets ingrained in your brain. And by breaking that for a month, maybe a few months later, you still have a glass of wine here and there, but it's not as automatic as it was before.
Talking with Dr. F. Perry Wilson, director of the Clinical and Translational Research Accelerator at Yale. He is with us on KMOX. So if you, if you partake in this, I know a lot of people who do it and they go, like we said, right back to their old ways when it's over. There has been some research. We've seen research over the years that says, hey, there are some health benefits to having a glass in moderation of wine or of this or of that. But there are more recent studies that say there's no amount of alcohol that is ever good for you. So where does the truth lie?
Yeah. Wow. I have an article about that that has a deadline of tomorrow. So great question. So stay tuned. But you're right. There's been a lot of conflicting messaging about what's the sort of healthy amount of alcohol intake. The World Health Organization is the group that says there is no safe limit, essentially zero. It's not 1 to 2 drinks. But to be honest, the data is somewhat equivocal there. At moderate levels of alcohol intake, so we're talking 1 to 2 drinks a night, men can tend to drink a little bit more because both of body size and alcohol metabolism, but 1 to 2 drinks a night does not significantly increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. There are some studies that suggest that it reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease, but there are a little bit of biases there. So I would just say that like 1 to 2 drinks probably isn't going to hurt you when it comes to your heart or your brain. The other big concern for alcohol intake is cancer. There are cancers of the GI tract and breast are certainly associated with alcohol intake. But again, if you dig into those studies, those cancers tend to either cluster in people who are quite heavy drinkers or people who drink and smoke. And of course, smoking significantly increases the risk of quite a few cancers. It seems like alcohol potentiates the effect of smoking. So if you're a non-smoker and have a mild to moderate alcohol intake of 1 to 2 drinks a night, I don't think you're going to see too much increased risk. And Amy, one thing you'll particularly like about this is a recent study that came out in the Journal of Sports Medicine, which found that
we lost Dr.
No.
Wilson.
I thought he was doing a dramatic pause.
That's a real cliffhanger.
I know.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
And now we'll never find out.
No, we have.
Okay. We got it.
We lost you. You froze. You said, Amy, this will be interesting. A new study in athletics and sports. And then I thought it was a dramatic pause.
It was not a dramatic pause. It was an internet glitch.
Okay.
A new
Big
study in the
alcohol
Journal
got to him.
yeah. Don't let him say it out loud. A new study in the Journal of Sports Medicine found that the risk of alcohol in terms of overall mortality, which is seen, goes away among people who get exercise. And in fact, it's the top 80% of people. So.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Oh, this is
the
torture.
alcohol lobby again.
I think they're hitting our building.
Yeah. We should have him. We appreciate Dr. Wilson's time. I don't know if we're going to get him back. Probably not in time because we do have to take a break here. We don't have an infinite amount of it. We got the Gas House Gang coming up at 12. But maybe we can have Dr. Wilson on again soon.
Yes.
Would like to talk to him about the GLP-1s.
Sure.
There he is.
There, Dr. Wilson, we have to run now, but can we get you back on here soon? We wanted to discuss, the GLP-1s and how they might affect excessive drinking or people who are trying to quit a little bit, if that helps. Yeah. And then, of course, there are some other things we can get into with you as well. But we do appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay. Dr. Wilson, He's awesome. Dr. F. Perry Wilson from Yale University. He is great. He is a friend of the show, and we need better Wi-Fi here. Is it our fault?
It's us.
It's always us. I'm going to go throw this router in the river.
Maybe we can have Alex Honnold climb our building and adjust the antenna.
Oh, that guy. I was kind of hoping for a little...
No, come on.
I was hoping for a mishap.
Go to break.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
For all station contest rules, go to KMOX.com/rules.
I'm Debbie Monterey, and I see more clearly thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Make your appointment today at 314-966-5000 or online at youridoc.com.
How many of you think taxes will go up in the future? And if they do, who will get hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Thursday, February 19th or Tuesday, February 24th. They believe a financial plan is not a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Big game, big screen, big energy at Ballpark Village, Sunday, February 8th. Enjoy the big game like you're in the end zone, featuring in-arena touchdown celebrations, fan cams. Save up to $10 on tickets with code KMOX. Tickets and event details at stlballparkvillage.com/events. For more information, KMOX.com/events.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccine. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
Rush Hour Sports, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler with you here.
Bernie Miklasz joins Rush Hour Sports tonight at 5 on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
I will say, I think with the drinking, it's all relative. If you drink a lot, I bet you feel way better when you stop drinking, obviously.
Yeah, if you're drinking daily.
Yeah, you're going to notice a difference. Because I will say this, and I think part of it is that I've gotten older. And part of it with running, you're pretty sensitive to how you feel. I will say, even if I were to have one drink, and this is new in my 40s, this is new. If I were to have one drink, I sleep a little fitfully that night. And I know in my 30s, I could have one drink and it almost kind of relaxed me.
Yeah.
But now I do feel like I don't sleep quite as well. That's with one drink. So it's not even like you're getting buzzed or getting drunk or anything. So yeah. I could see how even just sleep-wise, it would help you feel better. Okay, speaking of not sleeping well, did anybody watch the Alex Honnold climb of Taipei 101?
I watched the end of it. I had no interest, and then I was forced to watch it.
Well, it was super. I watched only the beginning because I don't have Netflix. I was visiting my sister, and I said, "Oh, this thing's going to start," because it got delayed. I didn't even know it was on, but I just saw that it had been delayed and was going to start in half an hour. So we turned it on, and within minutes, my palms were sweating.
Yeah, mine
And
always
what was
does that.
really weird is that I was super bored and super anxious at the same time. It was very boring.
Well, it's just a
but
man
also,
climbing up a building.
yeah, but also anxiety-inducing. And it was so slow. So I don't know. We watched it for a few minutes and then I left and went home, and I don't have Netflix. So I just waited for a Wall Street Journal notification, that he died or that he made it.
I was, look.
No,
this
Ranj,
is not.
don't say it.
I was kind of
trying not. No. Ranj, no. So, okay.
Let me tell you why.
No.
Nobody told this idiot to go climb a building. He didn't have to.
So,
the thing about climbing, free solo, whatever you call it, rocks or buildings, is that you don't have to. That's the number one thing about it. You do not have to do that.
I think it was so easy for him with all of the ledges because I watched Free Solo. We watched him climb El Capitan, and he was very focused. I mean, I think they said even the fact that he knew there was a drone filming him, or a cameraman, it was very distracting. And with this building, he was waving to people. He'd turn around and wave. He'd smile. He talked. He listened to music. And I just kept telling myself, this is so easy for him compared to climbing a sheer rock face. But that building is a public building. And there were kids on the 89th floor taking pictures. And my thought was, this guy could die. He could die. And if you're a kid, there were kids at the base of the building. You want your 5-year-old
I think
to see that?
The vast majority of people who were watching were hoping that he would slip.
No.
I agree. No, I'm telling you, because when he got to the top, he gets to the very top of this thing.
Everyone
and
went,
he stands on the very. Do you know what my reaction was? He got to the very top. He stood up, and I was like, "All right, well, what's next?"
Yeah.
Like I'm not amazed.
But
I have no reaction to it.
It would have been so bad.
People just wanted him to fall.
No, it would have been so bad if he had fallen. They did say within like a few minutes, well, he's in the danger zone because it doesn't matter if you fall from 200 feet or 2,000 feet. You're going to die.
I think that maybe this should be our Twitter poll of the week, our question of the week. Were you rooting for him to fall or rooting for him to make it?
No. Now we have a 636 feeling very self-conscious and a little attacked from the last segment about drinking.
Well.
And no judgment for daily drinkers. Another 636.
That's right. Have a good time if you want.
Well, now no one's judging the drinkers. They're judging Ranj for wanting him to fall.
I bet it's
you are.
At worst, I bet it would be close if we did the poll.
We're not doing that poll. I refuse. Matt, do not do that.
All right, we're going to do it. It's 2 against 1. We're going to do it. It doesn't have to be our question of the week, but it could be a question.
No, that's a bad question.
No, it's a great one. We're going to do it.
Do this.
We're going to do it, and I guarantee you it's going to be close to 50%.
No, it's not. Everybody loves Alex Honnold. I'm not part of this. Everybody listen, I'm not part of this.
Okay. You're going to be part of the remote on Friday. We are broadcasting live from the SLU campus from the Student Center. We'll be down there in that little cafeteria ahead of the Billiken Blizzard. Going to have a great time. So come down and see us Friday from the SLU campus, the Chris and Amy Show. Next, it is the Gas House Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Bear chair, care, bear, call, bear, chair, bear.
Time now for today's Spotlight on